you right now. It's just past the hour, 6:04, and it's the 26th of May, 2026. Woo! And it's hot in here, out there, under there, over there, round there, between there, near there, far from there, just everywhere. How you feeling? Because it's just hot. It's just hot. Unless you're wearing something that's relatively light. But there's a lot of people out there that I'm seeing that's wearing black. You were not ready. You did not get the memo that said it's going to be hot for quite a few days. And because of that, you are even hotter. Oh dear. Oh dear. We do have the lovely Carol from Next Generation. Yes, at 8:15, past that. And then we're going to have our very own Tunde 7, and I'll be speaking to Mr. McIntosh. We have our very own Professor Johnson. He's in the house, yes, he's in the house again. I know what you're twiddling with over there. Get away! Anyway, with all that said, it's just too much fun. And as I said, it's hot over there, under there, between there, through there, just everywhere. Just let me get my fan on. Just cool down. Chill out, cool down, mate. Tuesday, it's the F1 and Sports Talk Show. Six minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in, Missy, and actually passing through. Keep hydrated. Keep hydrated. That's right. Keep drinking water. Champion. The rise far beneath the place of my heart, the heat fills inside the engine of pride I speak of. The life, a chariot, a different majesty. The fly upon the wall, the fly upon the walls is telling facts. Feet stood upon the axle rail, no space is wasted. Too excited to hide or fight it. The roar. Let's roar like rumble. That doesn't come out. Come on now, Sheila. I think we're going to stop that a little bit again. I'm not too happy with that. Come on now. Let's go right there. Sometimes you just have to get it right, Sheila. Champion, the rise far beneath the place of the heart, the heat it fills inside the engine of pride I speak. Too excited to hide or to fight the pure might of it. Ready, come on, it has me just too excited. Let's fight like kings and queens of the lion pack. what is it? It's the speed, the chasing genius, the skill, the chase, the sound, the noise, the wheels, they go round and round and round. It's up, it's fast, he's crowned, and he's got more than one champion. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In fact, I was discussing this with a gentleman that I met the other day, and let's just go straight to that. Some shout out. I want to do a great big shout out right now. And you know, what is it about Formula One? There's something that's just quite unique about it, and no matter how you try and say, oh well, you know, it's just cars going around, it's just wheels going around. It's not. It's so much more about that. I'm hyperventilating because I saw this car on Sunday. Well, first thing we said, it was the race, we had the sprint, we had the practice, we had all kinds of things. It was just go, 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 go. And it wasn't just the one race. Then they had the F1 Academy, and they had 3 races. They changed up their kind of plan that was happening this week. Then also we had the F2 races, and they had their races going on. So in consensus, what was going on in Canada, it was busy. And if you had nothing else to do but just sit and watch the races, you could have easily have done that, but there was other things to do, there were other things to do. First thing I want to do, I want to do a great big shout out to my girl there, Kate, thank you. Thank you, because I'm still very, very pleased, even though, the story was we were meant to meet, didn't meet, and then we met up, and she said, oh, no problem, I've got somewhere we can go to, we can go and watch the race. I'm talking about the Formula One race after I finish watch up the practice and the sprint qualifying, the sprint and the race qualifying. I'm ready. And another great big shout out to Omawani and the drum crew there. So we're going to go and watch the race, but it didn't happen. Unfortunately, it didn't happen there. So we go to somewhere else, and they too are not watching the race. So you know, our friendship is on a tight line right now. But realistically, that was never going to happen. Then, what does happen? And I want to do a shout out to the Time Bar and also the Dukes of London, because first I met Francis, and we spoke just because he had the hat on. He literally just had a Ferrari hat, and I said, okay, so are you here or are you leaving soon to go and watch the race? He was like, yes. So, you know, there's always a get out clause from that point of view. So it was a very nice conversation. Thank you very much, which brings me to, is running, not so much is running really a race, is running really a sport, but his thing is running. So we're going to talk a little bit about running, and we have been, in consensus what we think of running. And also, when I say call Bob, because Bob, I've got a little tune for you. But in the meantime, yes, Merlin, we will definitely be speaking with you, and I think, we need to just calm down. I'll tell you what it was. It was a 1964 Thunderbird. A 1964 Thunderbird. Oh gosh. Woo. I tell you, you could have. Ooh, baby. And it had to. Speaking to Carol very soon. She's been trucking. This is one of those playlists that I've got when sometimes you just, I know for those of you who listen to me regularly, we've played this before. It is a bank holiday weekend, and it's been nice, it's been good, and I hope you've enjoyed it. But it's not over, let's keep going. I hope Tunde's got a poem for us today. So shout out to Francis, Bob, call Bob. That's my little motto right now. Don't call him actually because he's not going to answer. And with that, and a great big shout out to Merlin. And not only did they said don't touch the car. I literally saw the actual car that was used for, what's the name of the Barbie? Not that, but anyway. Yes, and it's pink. It's pink. Very pink. It looks quite nice. Quite sad, actually. Not as nice as that Thunderbird 964 though. It goes from naught to a lot in a little bit of time. It's gorgeous. And you know why that what's so unique about those is because the Americans at that time a little bit, they even thought of everything. The steering wheel kind of moves over. Why does it move over, you ask? So that people can get in the car and then move their little body and then put the steering wheel back. That's why. And just the upholstery. Oh my god! And then it's got these lights at the front. You know, obviously for the indicators. Oh, stop! Keep quiet. Keep still. Oh yes, we're going to play a bit more of that. But what I want to say is, with the races that we had over the past few days, mainly talking about the F1 races. So we're talking about the P1, which was the first practice was had on Friday. Then they had the qualifying for the sprint on the Friday, for the sprint on the Saturday, and well, that was something else. Kimmy did well, but you got to keep it down now, Kimmy. So in concerns to who got the fastest lap for the main race, yes, Kimmy did get that. And no, they don't get points for that anymore, but it's like, you know. Let's be talking to our lovely Carol, get on inside this. Sometimes it helps just to press the button. Carol, you there? I'm just so hot. Okay. I was just literally, we've got fans around us, but I was careful not to put the fan on because obviously I've sweated when I catch a cold.
Well, I was in my bedroom trying to pack. I just went to shrink. You don't get those bags that make things.
Right.
Did it? Okay, then Steve will explode circles again.
No. It's not even funny. Okay. So this is coming down. We're going to go straight into trucks and then the whole race and kick and kaboom and chat.
Yeah.
Okay. We do have Professor in the house, but he's doing something over there. Okay.
Hello, good evening. I'm trying to do some technical work and I'll be with you in a minute.
I'll put us both up because they can't hear us right now.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to do a little intro for you. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we would like to talk about revolution. But we're not going to talk about revolution now. What we are going to do is we're speaking to the lovely Carol. Let's play this. This is what I'm going to play. This is what I'm trying to be real. There we go.
I'm going to sit outside. I'm so
Okay.
hot.
The experience that I had with this car. Ooh.
Oh, it's a lovely picture.
Okay, let me bring. Carol, I've been playing. Well, we're now. There we go. I've been playing a little bit of. Oh, is it going to play now? There we go. There we go. We got a little Thunderbirds tune going.
Okay. That's your car.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, time is precious. Okay, that's all very nice. Time is precious. I like most things, I suppose, you don't know how much you are affected by them until you actually see them or you're around them. Or I remember I felt that one of the first times I went to Good, and it was just, I suppose, the amount of cars just I remember I just felt so overwhelmed, but at the same time, it's not the same as you actually really see the car, you're in the car. It's something, remember when we went to the exhibition that was held at the O2 for Formula One? That's Excel. And there was something about being around so much history and so much, and just cars which, even like, it wasn't like we had a family. It was the first time I've seen this car, but for some reason I was like, oh, you know, and I felt with this little Bluebird, which was just, it was a sexy car. You ever see a sexy car, Professor Johnson?
Yeah.
Oh, just
Yeah.
say it again. Yes, you have.
I have indeed.
Sexy car, Carol.
Oh, I've got lots of ways to say, but
I know.
I understand your experience yesterday because I put some little things because I too have had this experience. I was so overwhelmed and my senses were so overwhelmed. I actually had an unexpected trip to go to Santa Claus yesterday.
Gorgeous.
And can I say the noise, sound, running rubber, and there was a car that was running on aviation fuel, I think it was.
Okay.
And when that's the flames that came out, that was like a rocket. I'd say it's rocket fuel.
This
Flames that came out. And when it took off, it's like it cleared my ears right through. My ears have been blocked. It totally unblocked.
wow.
And that was going at over 200 miles an hour.
Now, what is it about? Obviously, that's for drag, isn't it? Drag. What is it about drag racing? Is it always two cars against each other?
Yes, we've only got everyone's only got 2 lanes.
Right.
But I'm just doing pit skates. I've been obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm.
In America, they've got some of the tracks have got 4 lanes and get 4 cars taking off.
Okay. And they have when I say a championship, a league or a process. I know little of it. But,
So over the weekend, the first day to Wednesday, Monday, or whatever, it was the first round of the FIA Drag Race Championship, and it was also the second round of the National Drag Championship. So there was a lot of cars, and obviously I went to Solitaire and stuff yesterday, but there've been hundreds of cars all weekend from, I can't get, I'm not well with all of them. Some of them are like the traditional dragsters, there's long ones with two small wheels at the front and 2 big ones at the back.
Really?
Lots of those. There was also juniors in a similar car. They had cars that looked like, they called them funny cars. It was like maybe like all 42's other cars, or maybe like a NASCAR type build car, but they've got again powerful engines underneath. You also have bikes. Oh my God, these bikes were so long, and the rider is leaning right over the front of the bike. Yeah, it's just, there's all sorts of things. For that funny cars, top fuel is the traditional ones, and you've got so it's called ET and door slammers. So there's all sorts of. I'm still getting my head around all the different categories.
So it's with each one, obviously they enter. However, the league or the
Yes, the championship, and then I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday was all the heats around,
right.
and then that culminated in the semi-finals yesterday down to the final. So the semi-finals would have possibly 6 cars or 5 cars.
Right.
So then soon we went out of time. There was a couple of times when only 1 car had to go run off, but sometimes they didn't even run off until they broke the they've got the timing thing, but it's been time going down because they've got some of the down automatic going through. There's a complication to follow, but it's
And I suppose the show is the colours of the cars, how they're painted.
some of them are just unbelievable.
Because from what I've seen previously, I was quite, I didn't get it at first, but then I realised it's one of the oldest really races from the point of view.
Yeah.
Once you've got two cars, you've got a race.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, is for the track cars, as I've discovered, it's about their reaction time off of the line, two different times, and then their time to get down to the end of the quarter mile as well. So yeah, it's phenomenal. So some of them like do 20 with the wheel spins, and then we've got the line properly, or they lost time, so there's how much time you can move in seconds. It's all over in seconds.
So off the line, and then to reach, obviously, the end. Now, what's the distance there? Is there an average different distance, or is just the normal
And it's
distance?
quarter mile.
Quarter mile. And it's always a quarter mile.
Quarter mile, yeah.
That I didn't know. What was that cartoon that where they had the drag race? Was it called
Wacky Races
Wacky Races? That was it.
with Chuckaboom.
Oh yes, of course, yes.
Who was Chuckable?
Chuckaboom was the car that was the Anglian one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was, I didn't, when I say I didn't get that, but I remember obviously, because it was about the wacky races.
Yeah, Trinity Pit Stop. And,
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Okay.
Captain Caveman.
That there has some really things going, didn't it? We had some good cartoons in
Yeah,
those days. So to speak. I'm not saying they haven't got them now.
Hanna-Barbera.
Yes, yeah, too much movie. All right, so with that said, that was a lovely day.
Yeah,
I suppose-
I'm going to say something, there's stuff on most weekends, and then you've got sort of like all sorts of different cars. I think like next weekend I've got things called Vauxhall cars, and I sort of assume that that's going to be all different Vauxhalls all being modified. So I said, go look on the website for Santa Pod and do what they are. There's something there for everybody, if everybody was entertained.
And how is Santa Pod spelled? Because I'm obviously spelling it in my way.
S-A-N-G, that's Santa Pod,
Lovely.
P-O-D.
Yeah. Oh, there is a lot going on there. Definitely. Have a look, people. And it's the first race of the season, obviously, for the drag racing.
It's the
And
first one of the FIA, which is like the top track. The FIA drag racing, I mean, it's about the FIA F1.
right.
It's that level cars. And there's got to be cost them about 100,000 for the weekend because their fuel alone claims to either
Aviation,
or
said.
whatever. It's costing a lot. And they also have to also rebuild the engine after each run.
Really? Why?
But things burn out, right?
Of course. But there's no.
They've got good setup, so they can change the engine very quickly.
So the main thing, as you said, the setups, things can break, but they're not tackling. They're not racing against each other to say they're going to go over somebody else's line or they're going to stay in their lane.
That's the thing, but the pure pressure of the
Speed and fuel, guys,
yeah, because the engine only built to do that.
so much.
That's something like that.
The safety precautions within that environment must be quite high.
Yeah. But all the same things are put to paramedics will work inside, fire trucks, yeah, it's all there.
With aviation fuel, I mean, I'm thinking that the weight of that, getting that must be quite daunting because you obviously have to have a fuel that's got. Is it the combustion that you actually?
I think so. I'm trying to find it more.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I know we're just listen to that.
They ask me questions.
I don't.
I can't get my head around it.
Typical. I want to know. Because it's new. It's new, and at the same time, I'm thinking, wow, I'd love to see some of these cars which are just, above and beyond the reality of something you see. And it must be great because I very rarely see drag cars. But thank you very much. And obviously, the next time you'll be down there, and I'm sure it sounds like a really good day that was enjoyed.
Yeah. I definitely want to go there to try and even get involved in it somehow. So you never know, you might see an NLG drag car coming out.
Why not?
Watch this space.
There's no reason why not. Within all the other spaces that we've been watching, there was a lot going on. Should we flip to Canada now?
Canada, what can I say? What we care? I don't even watched. I did watch FP1.
Yes, I saw.
And that went on for ages because obviously Paul Alborn had his accident with the
Yes.
Paul Alborn. And I think that animal did so much damage to his car, they had to sit out.
45 minutes.
Yeah, he couldn't do the sprint qualifying.
Yeah.
He still wanted to do that start from the pit.
Yes.
Obviously all that quality FP1 and sprint qualifying was all done in the drive.
Which was fortunate enough, actually.
Sprint race was okay. I mean, once
Well, you mean the qualifying? The race was won by George. Yeah, Russell. In fact, I mean, now obviously George and Russell are starting to get Russell, the same person. George and Kimmy.
This was when they having their matching around.
Yeah.
That was a bit yeah. I can see what this is when it's a race, but it's a bit too close for comfort sometimes. And a bit hard to watch. I thought Kimmy was racing very rapidly. It kept going off and then it was the track. And then saying, oh, this is right. And most of the time, it didn't happen before.
It was.
Obviously kept tendency to talk to me saying, well, you can race, but if you get too much of the time, someone puts back off, you don't want to have damage.
Definitely.
So I think it was the right thing for me to do. Yeah, it was a bit of an untidy, scrappy race. Really.
For the qualifying. One thing I did find.
No, for the race.
For the race, okay. I wanted, before we go into that, one thing I want to say about the qualifying was for that at the beginning we had obviously George and then Antonelli, then Norris, Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton, Piastri, Hamilton, Leclerc, Verstappen, Hadjar, Lindblad, which I was really pleased for him getting up there. Sainz, Hulkenberg, Colapinto. I would say that because the first 1, 2, 3 were really matched quite well, which really showed, I suppose, just the evenness.
Because at one stage during the time, it was a second between all of them.
Yes.
There wasn't very much between them for the sprint race.
And I was like, okay, that which left it good, and even it concerns their tyres because. We had only two of them that were out for the sprint yet, Dawson and Albon, because they had to start. Yeah, they were out for. This is talking about the sprint now. And just for those of you listening, the sprint, remember, is 23 laps, and the qualifying is and the actual race is 70, 71, 70. So we are talking about the drivers going at a different pace. And it's a long weekend for them because not only do they not get as much information as they would ordinarily with a P1, P2 and practice 3, they get one practice, one sprint qualifying, and then they have to have their sprint and then they have the qualifying for the race. Also going back to the sprint just a little bit, the drivers, they had this thing with the tyres, obviously to see what tyres they were going to use with their, I think it was, medium, and then they went on to soft for most of them.
Yeah.
And obviously,
you don't have tyre changes in the sprint.
No.
It's just in the race, but then that all change was on the race day itself. It started to rain, and they've not done any wet
at all.
ones at all. No.
They were fortunate because the F1 Academy, they had a little bit of rain, and F2 had rain. I saw that. Which was good for obviously for the F1, and we do know they had the wrong tyres, so to speak, to start the race, which didn't go well obviously from the plan because they started with the intermediate. But going back just a little bit, that with the qualifying, and then also with the race results, and that's what we were talking about with Russell, George Russell and Kimi Antonelli having that little chat on the radio. And for those of you who want to see us rather than just listen to us, you can do on Not Just Football 7142. Is that right, Professor Johnson?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So, any thoughts on that in concern to their radio language or their radio bands that they had?
Well, I think I looked at the bands, I think we were both acting our children actually, and because the driver wasn't very good. So I think the character did said the right thing, have a chat with him afterwards.
Yes.
He's got that, I don't know what they need to do.
It is quite important, I suppose, with drivers, as we've known over the years, that they do speak nicely to each other on the radio and not bring that to the forefront. I think that's obviously Kimi is going to be learning.
Yes, definitely. And then obviously, unfortunately, that thing happened also during the race on Sunday when Russell's car broke down and he got out of the car, which is through his stick. That was
That was pain.
yeah.
That was pain. For our sprint results, just saying, obviously the first 8 get, they get points, so it's 8 for the first person, so 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For those of you just tuned in, just to let you know the results. So that's Russell, Norris, Antonelli, Piastri, Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen, and Limblad. So say that Limblad got a point. So good for him. Yeah, so good for him.
That was good.
Yeah. Obviously, there were a few other awesome, bits that happened. So, with the qualifying for the main race, we've got Russell, Antonelli, Norris, Piastri, Hamilton in 5th, kind of again. Now, the qualifying for the race. Now, did you watch the bit? Professor Johnson told me that he watched the race, not the actual qualifying. Is that right?
So to give some clarification, I didn't visually watch any of the race. I was listening to race radio. I was at another event, and I went to my car and turned my car on. And
Okay.
I thought, Formula One.
Okay.
And then Formula One day in the background,
Alrighty.
and they were having a discussion about Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Räikkönen.
Okay. Kimi Räikkönen, otherwise Verstappen.
They weren't talking about Kimi. Yes,
Okay.
they were.
Okay.
They were talking about Kimi. Yesteryear stuff.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So you had a great fortune of listening to it. I know it's different listening to sports and looking at it.
Yes.
So with the qualifying, what we were talking about was the fact that Russell, good on Russell, he's fighting for his position. I mean, Carol, he's obviously in a place where he's showing that I'm here and I've got value, and I'm not going to give up so easily. Which is why what happened, his car did, and his car just. Did you said?
That was
Power unit. So I mean, that means, and they know this. It can happen at any time to any of the drivers. It's just the way that things are going to happen right now, really, I suppose.
yeah.
So.
2 weeks ago, I think it's that's why you can't get predictions in there. Can't wait to see what happens a bit further on down the line. But it's going to be. I think O'Hara lost away a little bit, but obviously the Verstappen's found Hasha. I think Hasha was up there as well. So you've got 2 from Red Bulls back up there.
Yeah, Hadjar came in 7th. So.
And you've got the Ferraris and you've got the Mercedes.
Yes.
So and then we'll see something else, a couple of others coming up here. So.
I will say, just on the light side, I know we've gone through the qualifying already, but when we went through the qualifying, in 11th place, I think it's also Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg, they're calling him the 11th. Just keeps not getting into the Q3 when it comes to qualifying, but he ends up doing. So with that, I mean, it was good that Russell did find himself on pole. At one time, Hamilton was even on pole for.
Yeah, he was on pole for quite a while.
Got knocked off, which I thought was nice. So it was exciting when it came to actually looking at the qualifying. And everyone was on softs for a while. I kind of noted that. And then the Wall of Champions. We didn't have too many accidents. Quite a few slight. Well, no, that's not true. There was a.
Yeah, there was a lot. Because quite
Colapinto?
no, it was a sprint race.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
Keep adding time on.
Yes, there was. We had let me go. We finished that sprint. We had in the end for 94 sprint results. Oh gosh, 14. So because not everyone actually started that. Because it started, Hadjar was out. So how many actually started? I think it was only started with 18. Because then we had quite a few starting from the pit lane as well. So in concerns to, that's my result sheet, and that's my qualifying sheet. Yeah, so in the end, with quite a few cars which for one reason or another just weren't able to start or get there. Everyone got their times in, which was good, but unfortunately not everyone was able to actually to be recorded for one reason or another. So with the actual race, so I go for the qualifying start. We quickly said what the qualifying start is. So for those, there was Russell, Antonelli, Norris, Piastri, Hamilton, who started in 5th, Verstappen, Hadjar. Come on, Hadjar. The clerk maybe wasn't so happy. Lindblad, very good Lindblad. Colapinto, okay. Then we had Hulkenberg again, Lawson, Bortoletto, Gasly, Sainz, Behrman. I was expecting Behrman obviously to come up, Ocon, and for Q to Ocon, Albon, is that Bottas, Perez, Stroll, Bortoletto, sorry, Perez, Stroll, and Bottas coming in at the end for Cadillac. Well, not too surprising those who are at the bottom in concerns for qualifying, as opposed to those obviously made it through or who didn't, because we had not 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 DNFs. 6 DNFs. Made it quite exciting for the race.
Yes, it is. And of course, a lot of people got lapped. I think we got lapped about 7.
Definitely. Oh, I thought the most was 2. Was it even Norris was lapped?
Yes.
That's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable when you think. I mean, besides them not having the right tyres, because they started at intermediates, so it would have been obviously whatever engineer would have told them that this would be the best tyres to start on, and it didn't work for them. And I would have thought they would have laps. I didn't realise you had to come in so quickly after the intermediate. But their tyres just would have ruined. What would have happened?
Yeah, because they went straight to see water because they were
Right.
totally wrong. What they should have done is when they did their green flag act or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
should have come in, I think, or come after the first lap. It didn't.
Would that have? So after they
These
all won,
tyres have got grooves in them to do
Right.
water.
right? So
And it needs lots of water to push away.
okay,
And they're not like full weights, but they've got grooves on them.
and that's why I thought that maybe they could have gone a bit longer, but I didn't. As you say, they're not like full
No,
weights.
not an intermediate, it was only tricky,
It wasn't even. Yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing really. So the best thing for them to do, as you say, is to come in after 1 or 2 laps. Otherwise, one, it would ruin the tyres. And what would they have ended up just slowing down, just losing pace?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Because the tyres would have gone off. The intermediate tyre.
Right.
It's and a cut tyre. It's got grooves in it.
So.
There's no water. And then in a big downhole, and the track's totally wet, then that might work for a couple of laps, but the track was it worked.
Yes. It wasn't the best of calls for the race, of course. So of all those that were out, Lindblad didn't start. Then Albon, Alonso, Russell, and as you say, he threw his neck safety thing that obviously that protects him. But it is a neck safety brace, neck brace. Oh, one not the actual neck brace, but one that's they have to take that off. Yeah. Which they have to get out of. Yes.
Really, really.
I don't know if he got if he did get a penalty, otherwise if
They
he.
did a penalty. Had to got £5,000
That's what it was, isn't it? I was waiting to see what it was.
fine. She had one higher than that.
You think so? Because.
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
That's sportsmanlike behaviour.
Yeah. And even when he came, he was so annoyed with himself, or more like just annoyed with the actual circumstances that had befallen him, because that means no points, obviously, for the main race, which could have been.
He's now 43 points adrift.
Yes. That is a lot.
I think that's 2 Grand Prix.
Yes. At the very most. So I said, well, it is as it is. Is it an easy run for the rest of the season for him? We don't know because obviously.
It's not that, because I think
17.
if the McLaren's come back, then obviously they've got the Talents, they've got the Ferraris, and they've got Red Bull.
Okay. So it's not just.
So it's got a foregone conclusion that they're really fun.
No. And we'll see what happens in concerns to what they'll be able to do. So what was nice, obviously, was our man did it excellent. We're talking about the one I know, so Lewis Hamilton. It was the overtake that he did on Verstappen, the penultimate lap. Now, all in the
Verstappen had it was like the old times, but they did it with a bit of care, and they weren't all bashing into each other. And I think when they came in, they both said that they both enjoyed it. So it was unlike when Kimi and Russell raced when they literally drew back their cars.
right.
That was a difference.
I suppose that being healthy and is that care for the fact of getting the car home? Because all it takes is a little something and that car doesn't come home, they obviously want it.
Yeah, just to get the car home and to the car to get, but not to go to try to take your
Hold it out.
take your accumulate out.
Well, as we can see with obviously Kimi Antonelli leading the drivers' points with 131 so far ahead of George Russell. We do have Charles Leclerc and Hamilton coming up from Ferrari behind them, which is quite fortunate. And there's only three points between them, with Leclerc on 75 and Hamilton on 72. And then down there, we've got the McLarens, which are a little bit away, but they're over. We're talking about, that's over 100, nearly over 100 points, it concerns 158, 58, obviously 31. It shows how having the sprint race really does make a difference to the points. That's what I was thinking. And just being able to get your 1 or 2 points in concerns to that. I want to go back to Lewis, obviously coming in second place. Okay, he started fifth, but was able to keep a place, even with the battle that was had between Kimi and George as they went through the race. And even as I saw Verstappen coming up, I really like the fact that with the power units at this point, and with the overtaking, if you know the circuit well enough, you can see the skill in the drivers a lot more. What do you think about that within their overtaking?
Yes, there's some of them still struggle on to do the boots. And also, the mess up Watford, the mess on the start of the race, because they had to do so many stalls. Then they had to do
Oh wow, that I didn't see.
Get them going, yeah. And race distance.
Oh, that's
The time started was like 69 laps, yeah. It was a bit messy. It was a bit messy.
So, admittedly, I didn't see that. So, from the point of view, if someone stalls, does that mean, they do the flashing on the side, and then they do the top? So, if someone stalls, usually everyone just goes past, we just carry on. Does that mean
No,
obviously?
they started, they have to put the message saying, second formation now, so they set them off again.
Right.
And they had to push the car, they pushed the car off.
Okay.
Basically they had to push all the way down to the pit. And they came around again and they went to start, and so it happened again, and then there was another gap.
Would that have been Alonso?
Yeah,
I don't know, but out of those, because I know that obviously Lingard didn't start, he had problems. And then from the DNFs that we had, I think I heard that Alonso in a few laps anyway. Albon didn't start. Russell obviously had his problems. Norris a DNF. That was really sad. That wasn't expecting that.
No.
So it just shows the reliability. It's the second in a row that he's had from Canada, I believe.
Yeah.
And then Perez, kind of like wrote that the second time's happened to him as well for Cadillac.
Yeah.
So, but Cadillac seem to be any views on Cadillac at the moment? This seems to be, I know they've got no points, but
Yeah, they did interview
Thanks, you're right.
the moment they've got they're a brand new team, they've got no data at all.
yes.
And so every weekend they're collecting data. So you can't take data from anybody else.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're they're all learning.
Which I think that they did very well this weekend from collecting that data. You can say to, well, we're not fighting against anybody or otherwise in competition with anyone but ourselves. Which, and they know that anyway, which is quite sensible. So, I think they did quite well there. Ooh dear. And obviously Perez, well, let's have ourselves a little musical break, I think. We'll try and get something. And we'll go right here. Yep, and okay.
You still there?
I am still here, and
It was England that stalled.
say that again, please.
It was England that stalled.
Yeah, and that's why he had the DNF, or did not start. That's so rich. After getting some points for the team, because he's on the points now, so that's nice. Well, I'm going to give us a little bit of music, and I think we'll go again because we've still got time. There we go. Okay. Oh, sorry, Carol, I'm still here. I was just doing one or two things with putting the music up at the same time and trying to hold the phone and put the volume up. Professor.
He's still
He's fully good.
No, sleeping.
Yeah, I know. Well, I haven't got the volume up there. He's kind of like napping, but you can't help it in this weather.
Well, I tell you, man, the heat.
You can't help but nap in this weather. Okay.
I'm
All
trying
right. I wanted to do the Indy 500, but I didn't get to looking at anything with it actually.
No, actually, before we go to that, can I go to something else actually?
Okay, just let you know that we're not on air. We're playing music right now. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm listening to his some
Oh yes, yes he did. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go there.
I didn't check anything out with you at all.
Okay. Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
is
Okay, let me get to Nick.
some of the things you're talking about. I'm
Mhm.
going to save you for this segment.
Okay. We're gonna come back. I'm not gonna go back in. Anything else we need to say about the race? We're gonna go to Monaco. So Monaco, we love Monaco. So we'll do Nikki and then we'll go to Monaco. That's what we'll do. Okay. All right, Carol.
Yeah.
All right, Danny. Okay. I'm just gonna put the phone down and then if you get back up again. Oh gosh, come on. Okay, that's all very nice, very nice. So, in this kind of weather, as much as that music, you just want to kind of like chilly, don't you? You just want to keep it on the down low. Don't want too much excitement. Nothing to see. Yeah, not too much excitement. Just cool. Make sure you're definitely hydrated. So it's all good work. It was a thoroughly enjoyable weekend for the company with many races going on in Canada. As I said, we had the F1 Academy. They had 3 races altogether. They had all kinds of things were going on. It was really quite interesting. We'll talk about that later. And there was also the Indy. Well, that's going to continue. But there was also some great news that was had within a family. So what was that, Carol?
Because the weekend it was also touring cars at Weston,
Mm-hmm.
and Nick Hamilton got a place. He got a position in the privateer, not all the privateers, all the guys got, and he got the Jack Sears trophy.
So what does that mean? I don't know, so that's what I'm asking.
I think it was I think it was for.
So he's in the is it BTCC? And he's been with it.
If you're talking about it, it's in the main race.
Yes.
That's the here it is. Let me.
So it's not the first time, in fact, that he's been with them for some years, hasn't he?
Yeah, we think he's been in various teams, and then he's been in and out. So I'm trying to find.
But-
the touring car results.
As you get the results, I'm reading this up. So Hamilton is the only driver to race in the BTCC with a disability and continue to drive
Yeah.
with us after making the switch to a new team. Hamilton, after initially joining the championship in 2015, before returning in 2009, joined Hyundai with a ton of experiences and a partnership that goes back to 2019 between Draper Tools and Excel.
Yeah, he's been in various
Teams and
teams, yeah. So he got classes.
so
I don't know which race he got it for.
as you look for that, it says here after he says this is probably Nick Hamilton. I'm incredibly proud to be joining such a strong outfit in Team Virtue, which is VRTU and Excel Excel R8 for this season. Accelerate. Thank you. For this season, as throughout my career, I have struggled for funding and budget, which meant I found myself in less competitive equipment. You would have thought that to be that you might not have struggled for funding and obviously for backing, but I suppose.
I think he was helped in the past because naturally was given the money
Of course.
to go race.
Right, of course.
It's not a given.
Not that kind of party.
Yeah.
And within, it's something that he wants to do for himself, and man to man, you know, there's nothing like a blessed child that has grown from that point of view.
Yeah.
And
So I think I'm not quite sure where he got whether it's a class thing or why he got the trophy.
well, he wants to thank Anthony and Justine and everyone at Accelerate.
Oh, hold on, Jack Seastrike. So I think yes, Jack Seastrike. So he must have got it because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars
Mhm.
that it's like a half that they're running that in that one. And he must run it that weekend.
So with touring cars, is touring cars, I suppose, yes, they put them in classes of size engine.
Yeah, and what you said about a work scheme, it's a private team, so yes, it's like a work scheme. So it's not like private team, it's run under the Jack Sears trophy.
So does that mean that
Yeah, well, the main teams is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mhm.
That's penalties. I think there's 5 independent teams,
that means
and there's what we call work teams.
Right.
Actually, teams 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 of those.
so a factory team, we're talking about names like Mercedes, names that we're used to hearing, or names like Hyundai.
They're professional teams. Like
Okay.
that,
Right.
Speedworks, yeah, they're big companies. They'll run two or three cars.
In fact, I found that I was really quite surprised with and this is going on to a different type of racing, with the F1 Academy, okay, is it 17, 18 cars, and each one was a different team.
Yes.
I was really surprised. I thought there might be 2 or 3, but no, I mean, admittedly, I was going for Tokyo, which was it my girl Emma? At the 18 teams, it wasn't like 3 for Ferrari. It was, and I really found that quite interesting for the 18 teams for the F1 Academy. So, and that and when you talk about the independents it's just one person coming through with their team, with their car, and this is what they're going to do. Would that be right?
Yes.
Yes, different to obviously other works cars. So I'm definitely going. We'll keep an eye, and congratulations to him. And as a driver himself, he keeps himself active, definitely, doesn't he? I suppose it's not just impressive, but the car. All cars have to be modified, and I know that there are teams that do that because there's obviously teams that work with those who have different physical challenges.
Yeah.
For the team. All right. Is there anything else that you're looking at there? Because we will soon be going to Monaco.
I know. That's what I was like. Interesting.
It's
It's a week later, because probably it would have been Monaco this
That's
week,
right,
Canada.
that's right.
Obviously, we're travelling now, but they're Canada and then they're coming out back to Europe. The European rounds.
which I suppose after they've flown all the way over there, which was sensible. Miami, Canada, come back, do what we've got to do. With Monaco starting there, we'll find hopefully get a little bit of smoothness. Things might even themselves out over the next few races as we see, because we've only got a few weekends in between each one, which would be nice up until August at least. And what's one of your best things that you can remember of Monaco?
Oh, just the atmosphere. The atmosphere of Monaco. I've been there for historic concrete. The atmosphere is just the same. It's just lovely. One of the other corporates I think I enjoy going around. It's nice to dress up. It's always not.
Right.
It's lovely cars.
Right.
For the historic one, but I'm sure it's a similar thing for the everything in France is always so offered, aren't they? So yes, it's good.
I want to come back and ask you, who's your driver going back to this weekend's race? Driver who's, I suppose, driver for the day? Oh, driver for both days. Driver for the day.
What for the Grand Prix?
Yes.
Oh, the Hamilton got it.
Well, I was asking yours, but Hamilton goes, that's nice.
Yes, of course, yes. There's only one person.
Yeah.
It's Hamilton.
Okay, sometimes good, but great. Well, I suppose there you have it.
You can just see him in his face, his whole
I
body.
know.
Just so exactly how old hands and that.
Yeah, so
And
happy.
you think his talisman or his lucky charm. So that his
His
mom's
mum,
there again.
yes.
He reckons how it's because that's his second holiday,
Mm-hmm.
and each time his mum's been there.
Well, I think we've had a lovely time there. Anything that you want to put in the mix there a little bit, Professor?
I've been listening to a lot of things that have been said.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I'm going to save this coin
Oh, right.
for 2 topics that we discussed,
Right.
and I'm going to toss the coin at the appointed time.
Oh, and we'll
And
find out.
we're going to find out which topic we're going to talk about
Okay, at the same time.
at the same time.
Okay. Well, so with that said, I'm going to have the last words with you,
Yeah.
Carol.
Okay. Oh wow! So it was a super weekend. So in league stuff. I was still so preoccupied with watching the World Cup. I didn't watch the stuff. But then being knocked out, seeing the standing point stuff. Yeah, I think I'm going to be the new convert to have it in notes, and yeah, it's delightful. So awesome.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you for your assessment and everything else and views. It's hot, stay cool, stay lovely, travel very, very safe. Much love.
Excellent. See you next week.
Be well.
Bye.
Okay. Woo, baby. I tell you, it's hot out there inside. Woo. I tell you, people want to work on something. Thank you very much, the lovely Carol Glenn, giving us her views and news and everything that was happening. Imagine that. Hot rods. Yeah, let's get some hot rod sounds.
Yeah.
That's right, we're going to speak to the lovely Tunde in 2 minutes. Let's say it and do it. What have I got to say about that? What I do have to say is, I called all these bubble people. You know who you are. I called you. Nobody was about. Everyone was missing.
Oh, man.
Everybody, they were all missing. All missing. I thought, let me just call and say, wish you all the best and everything. No, nobody was. They were missing. I was anyway. Here we go. Okay, can I give you, when I get hold of Tunde here,
Yeah.
can I give you the phone for a little bit, even though obviously to make sure I let her talk,
Yeah.
because I just want to tidy up around me for a little bit.
Yeah.
This will tidy because I've dropped something on the floor in the position. Tunde! How you doing there, darling? I'm good. Listen, I'm gonna start off, obviously, I know it's been that kind of a weekend with boy. Have you got a home for us at the end of that? Okay. You got a Pope Aston Villa at the end. Okay. So I'm gonna come in and with my little paper here. Okay. Here's my little Tunde came here. That's my pen. So what's the date? 26. Looks like 6th, 26. Okay. So where are we going to go first? Okay. So I'll tell you a little bit of my experience. And then I had a little Tottenham. Was it Tottenham and that's it, Everton. And then we had the Blue Bubbles, and they were playing Leeds. Yeah, they won, but it wasn't enough. It's really shit. Okay, so we'll go there, and then you can go wherever, and then we're going to go to whatever it is you want to go there to, and then we've got the squad that's been announced for England. We've got, yeah. Okay, all right then. Woo, okay, we're coming into you. When you hear me call your name, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do right, sometimes you gotta do the right thing, the best thing, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But one thing I do know is you gotta keep cool. Gotta keep cool, even when the ball's not right in front of you, you still gotta keep cool. This is Tunde Talks Football, because that's where we're at. Still keeping it cool. Tunde, how you doing there?
I'm doing cool, man. Even though it's hot out there, I'm still enjoying fire.
It's hot everywhere.
Yeah, but it's cool in here right now.
So we've had a lot of football, even though it's come to that point, but let's go, as you say, to, is it the Euros?
No, the UEFA.
The UEFA. Ignore me.
No. So I have to rewind to last weekend, because on Wednesday, Aston Villa were in the final, we're playing in the final against the German team Freiburg in the UEFA Europa League.
That's right.
And they mashed it up, mate. They were brilliant. They won 3-0. They were much deserved. I mean, and we say like, they have now ended a 30-year wait for a trophy. So
Oh,
well done.
wow.
Very man for a trophy. The last trophy was at the League Cup in 1996, but their European trophy, the last one was in 1982, so that ended a 44-year wait for a European trophy. So big up.
Congratulations.
Emery is the man. I mean, listen, when it comes to winning some trophies in Europe, my guy has got the Midas touch. That's the thing. Yes, he's going first one, and trust me, he won't be the last. He said that when he came to Villa, he said this is what it's going to do for these people. And he don't talk empty. My man delivered. He's
done it. Yeah, said it and done it.
When he arrived back 3.5 years ago, Villa looked like there was going to be there was in trouble. They were looking at them to be relegated. That's how close they came in. It just turned things around.
Good.
Back to wait, work hard. Well done to Yuri Tillmans, Eddie Buendia, and Morgan Rogers for their scored the goals. Well done to the whole team, the club, the support, everybody, and especially Unai, because he got some stick years ago, and that's at the end of if I got time, there's a little poem I wrote 3 years ago about Unai Emery. So
We'll make it happen.
I love this guy, man. He's so passionate. I mean, I was reading about him, I think he might just watch just a little bit more football than me, and I watch a lot of football, and I feel like that, come on. You know what I mean? He is so passionate, it's beautiful. So yeah, well done, man, well done. And then you know what, right? They had to then dust themselves. They couldn't even properly celebrate, because then it was like the weekend had come and it was like the last day of the Premier League to see who goes where, who finishes in what position for Europe. It was, there was the relegation. Or a fight to avoid relegation.
I know, that's right. Yeah.
The final game of the season. Unfortunately, boy, even though, West Ham beat Leeds, they beat them 3-0, it wasn't enough through the course of the season, because at the same time, Tottenham, who had been flat into the season for most of the season, they managed to beat Everton 1-0, and that win meant that Spurs stay up and West Ham go down. So commiserations,
I thought this be thinking it was Everton.
They need to sort out a lot of things that's not right.
I thought Everton.
To the beach, they never gave up. And then see Villa, they got off the plane, they had to travel up to Manchester City, and they beat them. They beat them 2-1 in the Pep Guardiola's last game. Villa won that. I'll come back to Pep a bit,
Oh, because Pep, he's leaving. Okay, you're going to come back. Okay, you'll come back. We'll come back. Sorry. I say nothing. Let me just keep it quiet.
So we had Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, 1-1. So I think that Bournemouth, have secured their place in Europe, which is brilliant. I think they're going to be getting there. They're going to be in Europe next season. Brilliant. And you know what, right? Sunderland, their home is their fortress, and that helped them. You know what I mean? Because they beat up Chelsea. Chelsea, the best team. Let's put it like that. That's mildly, But they beat Chelsea 2-1, which means that Chelsea finished 10th in the league with no European football next season, which is going to obviously have financial implications.
Is that one of the first seasons without
Chelsea? I've always said football's already a hard enough game, but if you can't keep all 11 players on your team, I don't think you're going to start Chelsea.
I have a question. I have a question.
The whole Premier League season, they were 8 red cards, which is 8.
Oh wow.
You cannot really be secure at that point, or even.
I have a question. Hold on, I have a question.
Have a look at that. It means that Chelsea have no European football next season, but Sunderland do.
Is that the first time that?
Okay. The first time in like 53 years. So big up the Black Cats.
Congratulations, Sunderland. Okay. Hold on, just one moment. Just one moment. Okay.
I'll say that I'll spend the last year.
Okay.
Because we have to pick up the champions.
Okay.
Arsenal, champions.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, not like 1 month or 44 days. You have to trust in the manager sometimes. You need consistency, and eventually they brought it home. Arsenal beat Crystal Palace 2-1. Yeah, but Arsenal were champions. So big up the Gooners.
Congratulations.
You know, Palace, they are tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yes, tomorrow they will be playing in their UEFA Conference League final, so they're getting ready for that game. That's 8 o'clock kickoff, so come on, you got to support the Eagles tomorrow against Vallecano. So that's where their things are. They are going to be. It's 8 o'clock tomorrow, UEFA Conference League final. Come on, Crystal Palace. And you know,
I've got a question. A little bit of a backtrack. Isn't that one of the first times that Chelsea are going to be in the European League?
Chelsea won't be playing. They won't play any European football next season because they didn't finish high enough in the Premier.
In the Premier,
Or they didn't win enough. They didn't win silverware.
So is that one of the first times that has happened to them?
But it's certainly on the door before they will be back to back and it's off the
It's
I
package. Yeah, without that going on. Okay. All right.
That's that.
Okay.
That was it. The Premier League is over.
It's over. Now,
It's been like a crazy, amazing, beautiful, brutal season, and Arsenal won. And you know what, right? I've got to mention, I've got to say,
go ahead.
because last week on WWE got BBC Radio, we were speaking about the playoffs and the Spygate.
Yes.
Southampton.
Yes.
What on earth?
Spygate.
But it brings different football into different groups.
Yes.
Spying on teams. So what happened in the end? Yeah, Southampton got kicked out. They were 2-1 denied. So the playoff ended up between Hull and Middlesbrough, and in the 95th minute, Hull managed to win the game. So next season in the Premier League, we're going to have Ipswich, Hull, and Coventry.
Okay.
Congratulations to all three of them.
Yeah.
So
Ipswich, Hull,
And Coventry. Tunde.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Professor Johnson speaking. Greetings, how are you? Did you want to ask a question? I've got something to say.
No, I've asked a question and she
Yeah.
told me about Chelsea. So the next thing that I've got to, we're going to find out about some other bits. We're keeping an eye on the time here because we want to make sure that we can get a poem in. So you have a question to ask, Professor?
Yes. Which team did the ex
Yes.
previously just sacked recently Chelsea manager Mr. Young, Leo Senior? Which team did he play for of the 3 teams that's been promoted?
So which team
Yeah.
of the three teams that have been promoted?
Yeah.
Oh, he used to play for Hull.
He used to play for Hull.
She said he used to play for Hull.
Yeah, and I remember so I mentioned a few weeks ago, I said potentially maybe we don't know if depending on what happens, could that open the door for Hull to turn. Now
Right.
there are no, and I'm not trying to make it difficult,
Okay.
but there are no black managers currently in the Premiership.
Right.
Now that Nuno Espirito from Portugal is not in the Premiership anymore, we have no managers of
Representation.
we have no representation.
Okay. With no, I'm not going to say it's not important because it is obviously important because you can feel it.
Yeah.
How important is it?
And again, where you paused, because is it a question of again people not being good enough, or is it a question of people not being given enough opportunity? The only way to really measure it is to say, let's look at the teams or teams that have done well or done poorly or not done well, and look at what they've done. So if we take Gareth
Is
Southgate,
that a discussion you're having with Tunde, right? Just want to double check.
Yeah, we're lucky today. Yeah. So,
let's talk
yeah,
football this time.
if we take
Uh-huh.
Gareth Southgate,
Right.
Gareth Southgate's pre-England managerial career,
Right.
retired from football,
Mhm.
started coaching, was manager at Middlesbrough got relegated,
Okay.
was manager at Aston Villa got relegated.
Ooh, it's not looking good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Tunde. He was given a special opportunity to work at St George's with the young England youth team set up and do coaching, badges and workshops and so on. They then gave him the under-21s, and then from there he got the England job. So now, if we're looking at track record and coaching record, and I'm not suggesting by the stretch of the imagination that Gareth Southgate cannot coach or cannot manage. What I am saying is that if we're looking at opportunities for managers of colour, and we're looking at representation, and if we're going to say, okay, Nuno was relieved of his duties because he wasn't good enough, what say ye about Gareth Southgate managing two teams in the Premiership, both of them being relegated, and being identified by the FA to say, we need a young British manager? Frank Lampard was manager at Chelsea, bombed, nosedive, given the opportunity at Coventry. Now Coventry's been promoted. Is now the talk going to be, oh yes, Frank Lampard, future England manager? Where's the young managers coming from? Don't forget, Mr. Thomas Tuchel is German. And as much as we don't want to mention it, or people want to say it's the elephant in the room, that he's not English, he's not an English manager. And where are our young English managers? What say ye? Or do you have an opinion on what I've just mentioned?
Ooh. It's very diplomatic, remember that?
Yeah, I know. Hello?
Are you there today? Is she there? Is she there?
Okay, I think that it's not so. It's an apology to something that goes on behind the scenes there. I'm just sorry, there's a lot of black players out there on the pitch, and it doesn't translate to people higher up. And that's always been the case. Something needs to be done. I'm not quite sure what, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's not right. Boy. And also, the other thing, you have to look at like who owns the clubs and who's up. They normally end up hiring people who look like them.
Yeah.
Who they know, and that's the issue. So until we have some more black races up there, let's do that. Danger everyone. This is what I really need. You know?
That's interesting.
And the other thing is that what they, and like I said, the managers haven't really even got the time and put their surname on the door before they get it. It's kind of like, you know, throughout the season, I'm talking like the whole.
Oh, we're losing
We're losing you
a little
there.
bit.
We're losing you there a little bit.
Can you hear us? Did you hear us then?
Can you hear us still there?
Have we lost? We'll just go. This is what we're just going to go to.
No, you know what you need to play? Play whatever tune you're playing, but selector, you need to find a tune from a group that is based in Coventry that had music in the 1980s that was very, 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 very popular. Something in relation to the supernatural.
You're going to tell me what that group is? Tell me who it is. Put me
The
on the-
Specials.
Oh my gosh! I tell you what, I was going to play actually.
You got to.
In fact, while I look for that, I
As
will.
long as I can't hear the tune, because I don't want YouTube to lock me off copyright or anything, you know.
But I was going to play this. Where are you?
This town.
Okay.
You come in like a.
What 2 days back? You back there with us today? You back there with us today?
Are we back again? We got a signal?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So what, going on from that, I suppose obviously Professor was putting a little, not so much of a spanner. My next question is, okay, you've mentioned without representation, without seeing people in certain positions and just how that, the effect of that within the hierarchy as managers, as people who obviously within the repair business, and by that I say the physicians, by those who are in the background and making sure that everything's gelling. Without a manager, it can look like it's not effective.
Yeah.
So my question is, how effective is it? Because you've got 90%, 80% of black young men on the pitch.
Yeah, well,
You know
if,
what, I'm going to say something. It's not even black managers as well, but even English managers.
Yes.
There's very few English managers.
Yes.
When you look at the Premiership
Yes.
and the
Yeah.
clubs and who they're managed by, right? This is what I'm saying. But look at the owners as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
the owner's the key.
and then there's like there seems to be a lot of impatience, short-termism. They want to just like, put some money down and think, we're going to win. And if it don't happen, then we're going to sack him and get another one.
Very well said.
It's easy to sack one man, it's to sack 22.
Do you think that the English managers aren't good enough? Or do you think that, as you said, do you think that there's stigmatization, stereotyping? Do you think a foreign investor who are coming in and buying Premiership clubs because they're good toys, brand new toys to play with, and it's like, I'm not from the UK, and I'm going to go for a French guy, and I'm going to go for an Italian guy, or I'm going to go for a Spanish guy, on the basis that these countries
I don't know what they're thinking. I just can see what I see, and this is what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? There's quite a number of clubs. There's like, if you look at Man City, that's been there for 10 years. Arsenal, Arsenal's been there for 7. Bournemouth, Emiliano Dami just left. He was there for 3 years. Solid. Newcastle, he's been there for, they didn't have their best. They have underperformed this season. But he's been there 5 years, so they've just been consistent. The team that they keep saying to the manager is inconsistent, and like, even though Chelsea went like in the relegation zone, when they finished up, it's not where Chelsea's, were looking to be with all the money and whatever.
Is there a British manager first? Is there a British manager in the top 6?
Well, see, this is what I'm telling you. You know what I mean? When you look at
We've got Pep Guardiola, we've got Arteta, we've got Pep, we've got Arteta, we've got the Dutch guy, we've got Michael Carrick.
Is at Man United. I'm just looking. You might be the only one. You might be the only English manager doing this. You know what I mean? That's just like, wow.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, David Moyes is at Everton.
It's Scottish.
I suppose, me personally, if he's Welsh or Scottish or Irish, me personally, Marty Malcolm Black. Because you said British manager.
This is the English Premier League.
Okay.
The English Premier League. And they have one English manager. So if you have one English manager, well, and they used to have one black manager. There's a lot of work to be done. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of work to be done. And the thing about it is, thankfully, some of our managers are getting themselves, get on the plane, go abroad, get your experience there. If Paul Lynch has gone to Italy, there's people, since the company is out there, that's up there in Germany. So you have to don't rely on, if you wait here, my God, your hair will be white. That's what I'm saying. So you and go and get your starts. But also, I always say, there's like at least 50 jobs in football. As a manager, the playing is obviously no one wants to play, but anyone can play. And coaching and managing. But there's so many other things that you could do with the knowledge you've got and the education you've learned to support the game. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm going to say.
That's very well said there. Thank you. Do you want to go on to the next part that you wanted to go with before we
I'm just trying to give people like
I'm just going to give you a warning now. Go and get your pen and paper. Or get your
Okay,
little
all right.
iPad or whatever.
Okay.
I'm going to fling some dates down.
Okay, all right. Get me. We got a two-day page there. Two-day page. Right, ready?
Get your dates.
You know, it would be wrong of me not to let people know, right?
48 countries, man. 48 for the first time.
I'm not even going there yet. Hold on, let me wait for days time, but you know what? Tomorrow, remember I said to you tomorrow, yeah? Just got to remind people, it's the away from Conference League final, Crystal Palace against Real Vallecano, right? But on Saturday is the Big Cup, the Champions League final. This is where we can see whether Arsenal could do the double yet. They're going to be playing PSG. And that's a 5-0 figure. So being ready, give yourself ready. Let's see if they can do it. And then on the 31st of May is the Women's FA Cup final. 3 p.m. That's Brighton against Man City. So now you know. Yeah, just got to thought and let people, you know. So
Okay.
because even though the Premier League is finished, the football hasn't. And
Okay.
it's also the UNIT World Cup. It's happening tonight. It's not tonight. Nigeria will be playing Zimbabwe.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So you've got time here. In fact, it's kicked off 2 minutes ago. You've still got time to tune in, get yourself down to the valley. It's happening for the next 2-3 days, so check it out.
That's nice. The first, so we've got Nigeria and.
You have got Nigeria, you have got Jamaica, India, and Zimbabwe. All right, that is happening down at the valley.
I remember,
Alright.
yes, you did tell us about that. Lovely. So remember that. So we've got tomorrow, we've got tonight, obviously the Unity, and then the 31st has Man U and Brighton. I might be giving that a watch.
That's the Brighton and the Women's FA Cup. That's on this Sunday.
I've been corrected twice. Never say this, man. Just to direct yourself where you're going. Let people know. Be correct. Man City and Brighton. So we may have some live news about that. But also, an Arsenal maybe do the double. My question to you before we do hear your piece and your poem is, how different does it feel to not have the FA Cup final, let's just say, at the end of the season as opposed to having it last week? I know you mentioned it last week, Professor. How does
Yes.
it feel?
It's something that's what we can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not in it. Hopefully they come to their senses and sort it out, put it in the right date for next year. Who knows?
Does it feel a little bit kind of like,
I'm play in January.
hey, oh my gosh. Oh
I
my
definitely
gosh.
threw my toes at the pram.
Yeah.
I just thought, no, we've got to stick to, it's got to be tradition. We've got to stick to tradition. It's got to be at the end. Play for your team. Let Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, let them all sweat it out, do what they got to do, decide promotion, relegation, champion, and then you do the FA Cup at the end.
I don't know what they're
Yeah.
thinking, whether there was anything
Yeah.
like.
I suppose maybe
Hey, you know
dates.
what? Speaking of cups,
Yes.
I've just got, we have to big up Barcelona women, all right? Because they played in the UEFA Women's Champions League final and they beat up Leon when they previous time, but they beat 4-0.
Yeah, they did.
You know what I mean? And that is like their 4th Champions League title in 6
Wow.
seasons, Barcelona. So I just want to say congratulations to them, yeah, man. Yes.
When you hear about, when teams have consecutively won or otherwise, just what silverware that they've brought home, it really does put it into perspective.
Well, at the end of the day, that's why the people play every year. You play because it's fun, you enjoy it. But it's more fun when you can pick up the trophy at the end of the season or when you've done well in the cup. You know?
Yes. Yep, definitely.
Well, I know we're going to bring ourselves where now 7:35 right there. I'm going to play a little bit of the track before we have. Are we up to the point of your piece today?
Yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm ready.
So I'm gonna play a little bit of a tune. It is. I found something in the specials. So let's
God
go.
plays a special man for Coventry. Yeah.
Look at the specials. This is a message to you, Rudy.
Rude boy.
Yeah.
Wow, 1979. Can you believe that? What I like about that times is, man wore belts. Just saying. Let me put your microphone down. You're making too much noise.
Gentlemen wore belts.
So that said, yes, we have Coventry, and as you said, Hull, and what's the name? Okay, no, it was already down, shoot, come on now. So that's Coventry, Hull, and Ipswich.
Yay! Ipswich, the Tractor Boys.
Oh, what do you mean the Tractor Boys?
That's their nickname. Their nickname is called the Tractor Boys. Yeah.
See, I don't know all this.
Yeah.
This is why we have you. This is why. But it's I like, why not?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're very much close rivals because they're very, very close to Norwich in East Anglia.
Okay.
So Norwich and Ipswich are really fierce competitive rivals
Okay.
because they're like neighbours.
Right. That's why you get that
Yeah,
Man
yeah,
City,
yeah,
Man
yeah.
U, like,
In football, your neighbour
Mhm.
is not necessarily your brethren.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why Manchester United and the Man City.
90 minutes or however long, because like check it out, you have like up in Merseyside, you have a brother who supports Everton and a sister who supports Liverpool. So for that time,
Okay.
but when they get done, hopefully they can,
Yeah, nobody's even at the same table.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think exciting and interesting. And what I want to know is, I want to hear your piece. And
Okay, good. I'm not hearing you very clearly, but I can hear you. So I heard you say what you're going to say. And you know what, right? This piece,
Yeah.
I wrote it a few years ago, but it's still poignant to this day, and it's called Casual Xenophobia. Whenever
Okay.
you travel abroad to a foreign land, I believe it's important to try and speak a little of the language and of their customs properly respect and understand. In this country, we talk a lot about equality, inclusivity, and diversity. But what I witnessed previously with Una Henry can only be described as pure hostility. Some people may fear another human because of the colour of their skin, and some seem to have an extreme dislike or an unreasonable person because they're seen a bit foreign. Hola, me llamo T. ¿Qué tal, mi amiga? I'm here to remind you that there's nothing casual about xenophobia. It isn't his first language, but live on national TV, English he was brave enough to attempt. But rather than being supported or even congratulated, he was treated by some with almost utter contempt. Mocked and ridiculed because he has a foreign accent and some English words he initially struggled to enunciate. An educated man, he's travelled to many countries, managed and won trophies with a number of top football teams. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for him at Arsenal. Now he's back at Aston Villa to hopefully right some wrongs, it seems. Appointed as their manager back in October 2022, Villa were fighting against relegation. When the season 2023-24 ended, under his leadership, they secured the Champions League spot and enjoyed a well-deserved celebration. He's taken them from the threat of relegation to going on a European tour next season. Elation. A question to the xenophobes: what are you afraid of? Really? And what gives you the right to act so cruelly? Because if Una Emery couldn't get his message across, there's no way he'd have got the Villa boys back playing unless he shut right up and properly listen and actually hear what he's saying. Mocking someone because of their customs, religion, culture, language, or even their pronunciation, that's not banter. it should be called like it is, which to me is blatant xenophobia. So to those stupid idiots who mocked Luna on social media back in the day, I'm glad he flipped you the bird, because to continue this disrespecting the way a person talks or lives their life is absolutely absurd.
Yeah,
Much
definitely.
respect, much respect.
Yeah.
There's much respect. There are many players, many athletes who make every effort to speak a language which is not theirs. So that was very eloquently and subsequently
Yeah.
put. Oh, I liked that. Thank you. Thank you very much. And
to like share that. I just like I said, I love this guy. I love him even more. You know what I mean? But he's the man.
well, Tunde Talks Football, thank you very much for keeping us up to date. So one thing which we didn't mention, and that is how many days do we have until everything changed on the worldwide stage?
Yeah, man.
Oh no, we went 16 days.
16
days to the World Cup. I think that's me why I have to say congratulations and big up to Pep Guardiola, because I did mention a little bit, but he did a big mention because he stayed there 10 years at Man City and he won 17 major trophies, right? And that's including 6 Premier League titles, Champions League, boom, 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 and all that kind of thing there, yeah? Okay, we're not going to talk about the charges, because that's nothing to do with him, but there's going to be some talk. But I just wish he's done a lot of things in the Premier League.
So
yeah.
16 days to go.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Well, let me just make sure everything just ready.
Well, you know, because of the time zones and the fixtures,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's going to be a lot of night games.
There is.
So there's going to be a lot of nightclubs. There's going to be this Hollywood nightclub. There's going to be shining football
Right.
in the club.
What? Hey, you can make your money somewhere.
8 p.m. kickoff, 11 or 5 a.m. kickoff, something like that, depending.
Some people are making it to work.
It is.
Yeah, most
So
definitely.
yeah, your same club will be all over the place, but it's just for a month and it's going to be brilliant.
All right. Thank you very much, Tunde,
Yes.
and we'll be speaking with
my
you.
pleasure as always, people. Enjoy, keep watching, keep listening, and everyone is happy.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. This time.
Tunde, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very, very much. That poem was awesome. That poem was really nice.
No, thank you, man.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay.
Thank you. We will catch up in the not too distant
Yes, yes. I'll speak to you soon.
You both, yeah.
Thank you. Much love. Thank you. Bye.
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 Oh, that means.
I feel like I should give it a ticket. I'll be honest, I feel like I should give it to her. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited.
What you saying?
I'll be excited.
I'm not gonna ask you. What are you excited? Listen, it's 7:44.
Yeah, it's a 7:44 period. Yeah.
It's 7:44. We'll come back right with that. I was excited. No.
I'm still. I'm getting excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Open this. Put these back up.
Where's my coin? I've got to flip my coin.
4744. We're going to do today, in fact, I'm going to play a little bit of Nick Hamilton's on his massive BTCC move to Team Virtue. And this is about a month ago that this was out, but I thought it was quite interesting. I haven't listened to it all, but what I will say, it's nice, I suppose, just to get something a little bit different. So let's find out, and it's obviously it's an interview, what I found, and let's just see how it goes. See how it goes. Let's play a little bit of that. So this is going to finish in about a minute. And then where do you want to go, guys?
I'm going to go. We're
Have you
doing.
tossed the coin?
I haven't tossed it yet.
Okay, so we're talking about fine.
The toss the coin, we're going to find out. We're going to go the STEM segment.
That's a STEM segment. Do you want a little bit of music with that?
Give me a little bit.
Oh, I do apologise. I do apologise.
Yeah.
I wasn't focused for that moment, and then lost my. But we're back on focus now.
No, we're good. Everything's nice.
Okay,
Nice like sugar and spice.
I'm sorry to cut you there. I wasn't focused on the little interview here. I thought it was good. Okay, so let me go back with Nick on here because that's important. Then I'll put that us down. I lost track there, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this on here, so it's ready.
So I'm definitely gonna talk about, so within the STEM segment, I will talk about concussions, Morgan Gibbs White, and his little mask, his little Batman mask
Okay.
to protect his face, prosthetics. I'll talk about that. And you had it in.
I just wanted to see.
We've got some little engineering, we'll talk about engineering for a little bit.
So I didn't hear you there.
That's much better. Camera. No, it's still working.
That's an interview that was had with Nick Hamilton, and Nick was talking there about the adaptations he has for his new car, and in listening to it, you can gather it's not just a case of getting the car and it's going to be okay. He has to have obviously room width with his hips, and obviously with the mobility of his hands, and it's unfathomable in some respects. It just shows how we can take certain things for granted.
Of course,
Just to get in the car, and even when I was in the Thunderbird the other day, which is automatic, because I was looking to see if the gears were on the steering wheel, because obviously that's one of the Americans, one thing they did, they put the gears on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And
Lee Brothers.
exactly.
Why is he moving the car with the window wiper? No, Ricardo, it's a gear stick.
Another thing which, well, we won't go to Thunderbird, but going back to this, just commendable that as a person with, and I don't even like that word disability, just an ability to modified cars, the fact that there are teams that cater for people's passion within the that racing. So that gives another.
Just the fact that they're actually doing it, because when we were kids, when I was younger, there was no capacity for anybody like that to enter into competitive racing.
Yes.
And the fact that they've now recognized that let's create an environment, an opportunity for these individuals to race. I mean, we had what's his name, Alex Minardi, we done his profile, the obituary
Yes.
when he passed away.
Definitely. It's just the difference, and it allows me to really be grateful for the fact that I say able-bodied, but the movements that can be made, even though obviously wear and tear can show itself.
Oh yeah, of course.
And to look after our body within that shape.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's just have a little bit of this and we're going to come back. It's now 7:51, so we're going to talk a little bit something different. We've done our segments of the Caribbean Corner, and we've also had our segment with our books and with our movies.
Yeah.
And this week we're going to do STEM, is that correct?
We're going to do STEM, we're going to have our STEM segment.
Our STEM segment, but only after the music.
I don't know, we could use a tune, maybe Star Trek or something like that. So yeah, maybe Star Trek or something.
Oh, sorry, I went to Star Trek.
I'm trying to think, what tune could we have for the STEM segment? Yeah.
Might have to get all these already. Oh, I had Tears for Fears ready. I'm not going to get. That's for something else. Go ahead. Star Trek.
Boldly go, say no man has gone before. Tomorrow's World had a theme sheet, didn't they?
We're gonna make our own.
So that's the final.
Star Trek.
Oh, you like the Star Trek music?
Okay,
Can
that's
be a true
one
professor.
minute.
Can be the professor in my true identity.
You're listening to the F1 Normal Sports Radio Talk Show here with Shida and Professor Johnson. In just a short while, we'll be speaking to Mr. McIntosh after our STEM segment. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We'll bring it.
To boldly go where no sports radio show has gone before.
I do believe that.
Yeah,
So, what are we doing here? We're gonna, as you say, find out.
yeah, a little bit more. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and medicine.
That's right.
Okay, we're gonna flip a coin.
We flip a coin and
You call it
heads.
tails. It is.
Tails it is.
Tails it is. So we had two topics that we're going to talk about. Formula One.
Right.
We were going to talk about fuel consumption
Yes.
and the mathematical consumption of fuel, or we were going to talk about tires
Tires.
and the degradation of tires and how tires,
Within F1 or within what?
like the science, the physics of tires and how tires.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it tires? Which one?
Yeah. So we got tires.
Oh, yes, I like tires.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a little short segment about tires, education. Kids, get your pens in your book out. Mum, daddy, get your kids and get your pens in your book out. And to make some notes, so we're gonna talk about tires. So tires made from rubber, Formula One cars. How do tires degrade and how do they break down and so on and so forth. So tires can break down in three ways. There are three ways that tires can break down. When you're driving in a Formula One car,
Yes.
the speeds that you're driving at
Yes.
means that the rubber in the tire generates an enormous amount of heat.
Friction.
True friction. Not necessarily friction. There's two things. There's friction in terms of the tire contact with the ground, but there's also a heat that's generated
Yes.
from the actual combustion of the actual vehicle.
Which is why they usually want the tires to be heated up
Yeah.
so they can work to do what they're meant to do between the surface
Yes,
of the surface
Yeah.
with the tarmac and And
Yeah.
the speed.
And the speed, because if you get a rubber band
Mhm.
and a rubber band is cold,
Yes,
what does it do when it's cold?
it contracts
No, when you get a rubber band and it's cold,
It's brittle.
it can and it can tear,
and it can snap.
it can snap, tear or snap. So you try to warm a rubber band up first
Okay.
to get heat in it
That's
so it can
right.
stretch
Yeah, and then
and stretch. Right. So
that's right. You
tires.
pull it, don't you?
Yeah. So again, we try to get tires as almost possible so that they can do what they've got to do whilst the car is moving with momentum and speed.
Mhm.
But again, that's a fine line, because if it's two revolutions are turning too much, the tires can actually burst. So you don't want them to be cold so that they can't generate heat to move. But if they're too hot through combustion, then you get it, or possibly where the tire can burst and get a puncture. And getting a puncture at that speed, as opposed to getting a puncture at 20 miles an hour,
Yes.
totally different.
Something different. You can sense
Yeah,
just with the
yeah.
car motor.
Yeah, car momentum.
Right.
Yeah. So
So that's what the science of
yes.
getting that right is.
Getting that right. So what are the three things that can cause a tire to disintegrate or lose a bit? So we've got heat. So we've got thermal
Mhm.
degradation.
Yeah.
This is where the actual rubber polymers,
Mhm.
the actual material that they use to make the tire. So the polymer is the actual chemical compound that they use to actually construct and make rubber. Okay?
Not just from the plant.
No. So
Artificial.
when they take the artificial rubber plant, they
Mhm.
mold it.
The real rubber plant.
Yeah, the real rubber plant.
Mhm.
They take it and they mold it, and they use other chemical compounds to make the actual tire. So the chemical polymer that they actually use to make the tire, once you go beyond a certain temperature, when you get to a certain temperature, it starts to stretch and expand. If you continue going, then the actual tire itself is actually going to break down and disintegrate. And this is where you have your puncture.
Or because there isn't the volume for the tire to
The actual
air gets.
Yeah, the heat of the tire, you need some heat to get the tire to be
Mhm.
flexible and stretch
Mhm.
so that the tire can actually go round.
Yes.
When the heat gets beyond a certain limit,
Yes.
the actual tire itself
Mhm.
starts to disintegrate and break down.
Got you. That's why you get the bubbles. And
That's where you get the bubbles and everything, okay?
Okay.
So
Right,
you've
that's
got
Mhm.
the overheating of the tire,
Mhm.
you've got the degradation of the tire where the tire picks up bits off the track. And then those bits, pebbles, stones, and dirt and things like that, can actually stick into the tire and then cause the tire to actually then break down. So you've got to get that fine balancing line between getting your tires warm enough so that they can turn. Remember what I said about the cold elastic band?
Yes.
And then there's a fine line between not making the tires overheat so that then they actually pop, or you can get a puncture. Yeah, so getting that balance between the two things is really challenging.
The heat degradation.
Yeah, the heat degradation and things like that. Would you like to, not now, next week,
Mhm.
talk a little bit more about some of the chemical compounds that help to make tires?
Oh yes, I'd like to know. Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
Oh well, we've got the rubber, we've got fillers. Let's talk about that because that's gonna
I'll just
take a
sort of
little
next
bit
time.
more. Yeah.
So my next question is, so
Yes.
I know tires. I mean, when you think of rubber, rubber is a really, that's something that's just used, it's used
Oh,
for
yeah.
so much.
Oh yeah. Rubber's got so many uses. Rubber has got so many uses.
Which makes, it's most of the rubber that we use, then we talk about our trainers,
Yes.
is that artificial?
A lot of the trainers where the rubber and the old leather that they used to make trainers out of, now they use a lot of synthetic polymers to make trainers now. They used to talk about the air bubble,
Yeah.
and so if we take the air bubble and we take the Predator,
The air bubble, and that
Yeah.
was a unique, that was
that was in the back of the heel with the Michael Jordan Nike
That's right, air
to
bubble.
make him fly,
Air Jordans.
and then you used to have the thing where you had the air cushion. So the
Yeah.
science behind it
Little
is the biomechanics. When you
Mhm.
jump,
Mhm.
the air bubble compression is gonna store the energy and then help you to spring
That little bit
back
more
up a little bit more so you can jump
higher.
higher so you can dunk.
Oh, right. So you bing, bing.
Yeah, that was the science
Okay,
behind
okay.
using the air bubble, and again made out of rubber. The synthetic polymers that they're using to make the trainers actually makes it a little bit more. Again, it's got different properties. We can talk about that at another stage. What I did want to talk about was a little bit about head concussions. So
That's right.
yeah, so
Nice sincere apologies there.
yeah. So I just want to go very, very quickly.
Okay, we've got Mr. McIntosh, and let's find out a bit about head concussions.
Yeah, for head concussion, very, very quickly. So look at that face there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What he's just showed me is a face that makes you go, ooh.
Yeah, so Morgan Gibbs White
Yes.
was playing for Nottingham Forest, and he had a concussion with a young man called Mr. Chris Derry, who was playing for Chelsea. And when they had a concussion, he was suffering from bruising and swelling.
Right.
Now, when in boxing or in MMA or fighting, or if you play rugby or football and you have a collision with the skin, what happens is that initially the skin breaks. When
Yes.
the skin breaks, the brain goes into panic mode and tries to form a clot as quickly as possible. So it sends blood to the area, and then the blood forms a scab. What did our parents tell us about scabs?
Don't peel
Don't
them.
pick them, don't peel them.
Yeah, leave
Right,
them.
leave them and let
So
them.
that sounds like an inside tumor.
What it sounds like it. So where that scab forms, underneath the skin, right, you've got white blood cells, leukocytes, and you've got red blood cells bringing oxygen to cause repair, to try and repair back the skin. Now, he was trying to get into the England team, and he didn't have time to come off the pitch and not play. So he still wanted to play. So we have a problem. But our men in the science department, they created a prosthetic mask
Okay.
for him to wear. And he looked like him feel like Batman when he wore the mask.
But however,
Yeah, well, he didn't get into England's side, however, the prosthetic mask now is going to be a common feature where a lot of players who have had facial injuries, a lot of players have had collisions where they've been cut or been bruised or damaged. A lot of players are now going to be wearing these prosthetic masks to help to protect the face so the player can still play
I'm
whilst the
seeing
skin
them.
is healing.
I'm seeing it in rugby.
Yeah. It's
I've
quite
seen a
dramatic.
few in football,
Yes.
but I didn't know exactly what it was.
Yes.
And in hockey.
Hockey as well.
And hockey
yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
All right, so that's today on STEM.
That's today on STEM, and we will be having little STEM features going forward and try and get some more little science bits.
All
involved.
right.
Yeah.
Tommy's still there. This, just gonna chew that out. Cool. Can you hear it? Ay. Aye. Good evening, my dear. How are you? I know, isn't it? Oh. Okay. So we're going to go with your agenda, and I do have a professor in the house just to let you know. I'm going to bring. Where we go? Just let me know where we're going first. Where we're going first. Okay. All right. Okay. So just with that, we'll be right there. Put your headphones on for me, otherwise passing this, so I know exactly where we're going. Okay. All right, so you're listening to F1 and All Sports Radio Talk Show. Oh no, you can't hear me. There, now you can hear me. You're listening to the F1 and All Sports Radio Talk Show.
We
They
can
can
hear
hear me
you.
now. I know.
We can
Thank
hear
you. So with that all said, we've got Mr. McIntosh on the line, be right with us. We've had a great time speaking with the lovely Carol Glenn, going through obviously this month's race at Canada. We've got Monaco coming. There's so just imagine the time with all those hot rods, wacky races, always go, go, go. Talking to Tunde, you enjoyed her poem? I thoroughly enjoyed her poem. And obviously just the information that was had from Professor there in concerns to rubber type. And I just want to know so much more. There's so much more to learn as well. And now, with our lovely Mr. McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh! Yes.
Bit croaky tonight because I think I've got the summer bug that's going around, but I should be okay. I should be all right to carry on and, as I say, be strong tonight.
Be strong tonight. And we missed you last week. Just in case.
Unfortunately, I had to do an emergency class for a colleague who's in a bit of a problem
It's fine.
with his judo club, so I had to go and
No problem.
take over for him. I'm surprised he didn't call me tonight. I thought he was going to call me again, and I said, no, I can't miss 2 shows in a row. So
We are so fortunate.
until he gets that situation resolved, I may have to go and help him out again. But,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
yeah, the thing about it though is that his class, the kids mainly, they thoroughly enjoy the session. Because it's important sometimes you give kids or young people variety when it comes to training.
Definitely.
Whilst repetition is very good,
Mm-hmm.
you also need to make it fun for them, and then that way they want to do it. So they have different perspective from my coaching point of view, and the feedback was extremely good. And we coming back next week? And I said, well, unfortunately.
Well, it helps them. It does help when we're talking about competitive, because if you're within that, within some dojos, you're used to how things go, but you might need, as I say, something different so you can keep you on the edge. Otherwise, you become relaxed in maybe your attack or your system or your stance or things like that can make a difference. So that's just a point.
Well, it's a valid point, but the thing is, different coaches have different methods.
Right.
I come from a background where I teach my young people to fight, whereas there are other coaches who teach the technical aspects of judo. Some teach the more spiritual, the more history. I tend to teach my kids, and I put it in a black man tail culture. Usually you can hear me sometimes at competition. I'm going to train them up. So that is the background I come from. That's how I learned, if you understand. My brother was a more technical, but I was a rapper. And I passed out to yes, we do the technical. But also, when you have young people, you've got to make it fun as well, as I said.
Yes.
So you've got to incorporate some little games and so on and so forth. Because if it's boring, you know what young people are like, they'll just switch off and they won't come back again. So you need to make it fun, competitive, in a sort of way. They like games where somebody wins or if somebody really needs it. So that was the essence of last week.
Thank you.
Well, what I'd like to talk about to start talking about this week is, I don't know if you or Professor Johnson saw or heard about this enhanced games.
Yes. I heard him speak of it yesterday as well.
For one perspective, it's a controversial sort of concept, which was being launched by some sort of company or organization, basically to say that
Use our drugs.
if somebody has used any substance, but there were clean athletes there as well, allegedly. There are persons there who haven't taken any sort of substances, but they have other issues. I think the main thing is financial. And when you hear some of the money that was passed around for coming second and third. You could understand why some athletes sort of went into it. It's a controversial thing in a sense because over the years, we talked about it many a times on the show about performance enhancing, etc., etc. Is it something you want to promote amongst young people that in order to win, you've got to take a particular substance? And then the other side of it, you wonder if there's another school of thought in terms of the health, physical health, mental health, all those things which taking these substances can cause. The main selling point in this particular games, had athletes who had certain bands for performance enhancing, and then they had athletes who hadn't, who I would use the word past their sell-by dates. For example, you had a British sprinter, I think he was like the fourth fastest ever in Great Britain, Reece Prescott. You know, he hadn't run for a good while on the actual international circuit.
Right.
Got an opportunity to make a money, and then we had the infamous Fred Kirby. Now, Fred Kirby has not been technically banned from competing, but he had, he hadn't been tested positive for drugs, but he did have some bans or in relation to whereabouts. Because if the drugs testers turn up and you're not there where you're supposed to be, the time when you're supposed to be there, then it's called classed as a miss.
Yeah.
And that's classed as a failed test. And Fred Kirby had that, and he also had some other issues in terms of beating up his partner and so on and so forth. So one of the many things he was saying, I'm going to break Usain Bolt's world record, and I'm going to run 9.4 and so on and so forth. But materialized far from it. He just ran just 9.97 or 9.9.
Okay.
Which was a long way off Bolt's record. And the guys who came second and third, and when you look down the list, some were running like 10.4. Running 10.4.
That's quite far behind.
Yeah.
Not only far behind, it's what club athletes run.
Yeah.
Understand? So that was quite poor, the standard of athletes that competed in the 100-meter race. There were other events as well. The only person who broke a world record, I think, was some swimmer in the 50 meters swimming race.
I'd like to make a point there,
Yes, sir.
and that is, this is just to clarify. So, if a world record is broken on enhanced drugs.
Yes.
So,
Well, it could be, but it wouldn't be ratified. It wouldn't be a world record.
so
Because, obviously, you could run the time or whatever, and by the 50-meter the guy that won the 50-meter freestyle, he
Right.
actually broke the existing proper world record, but it wouldn't be ratified as a world record, if you understand.
because it's played in the enhanced games.
Yes.
Because it's done in because it's done in the
Enhanced
enhanced.
game.
It's
So,
not a recognized, it hasn't been under a recognized body, and the
body
fact
is
that
it? Okay.
nobody knows whether they've taken
Right.
drugs or whatever.
So the enhanced games will either have no records in some respects, or they'll be building up their own records from this point forward.
Mhm.
Because there isn't a
Oh,
body
yes,
that
they say when
recognises-
I do the world record, but as I said, it wouldn't be recognized
Yeah.
as any form of world record, owing
Right.
to the fact that it's done. It's like you have various boxing organizations,
Yes.
who claim, they're X, Y, and Z, but they don't recognize as legitimate, if you understand. There were only there's only 250 spectators in this game, so it's an experiment.
Yeah.
I don't know who's funded it, if it's a pharmaceutical company or what they aim to sort of achieve. But it's an event that's happened. So somebody somewhere to pay a man who comes second $80,000 is a lot of money.
You might
I
wonder.
remember we had the debacle of the Michael Johnson track sort of thing, whereby
Oh yes.
he's got bankrupt because
Mm.
the fact that he wasn't able to pay the athletes what they were promised and so on and so forth. So yes, this enhanced game has come about, and something, I don't know if there's going to be another one, but then again, what message are you sending out to young people?
It's
Yeah.
okay
Say,
to
well,
take
if you want to
drugs.
succeed, well, take something, and it will help you, or will make you faster.
Okay to cheat.
Mhm.
So, yeah, well, in essence, it's okay to cheat, but saying that, remember from time,
Mm-hmm.
it's things that, unfortunately, it's always been there. People have always, we discussed this before,
Mm-hmm.
people have always taken substances to try to help them improve their prowess.
Yes.
A lot of what is that deemed now as illegal substances were on the list. Well, at one time, ordinary substances that people could take, and all of a sudden they say, well, no, a man drinking his Guinness punch is running fast. What Guinness, on the list. That sort of goes into sort of like my sort of
Let's
next
segue.
topic.
A human always wants to have the edge, don't they? Realistically.
Well, unfortunately, in all sports, and we said that before,
Mm-hmm.
you're always looking ways of beating your opponent. It's not necessarily about cheating, but you're always looking for, the edge. And it just happened to me, and I thought, well, a segue I looked at, I read an article about this, and I thought, it's technology in sport. And when I use the word technology, I'm not talking necessarily about VAR or in terms of like VAR, that aspect of technology, or the line calls and so on and so forth, the line machines to determine whether the ball was gone out, or the DRS system in cricket, and so on and so forth, or these types of things. Technology, I'm looking at from a different perspective. When you look at the measures that athletes or sportsmen and women now go through, whereby if you look at the footballers, for example, they're all now running around with a little computer chip.
Yeah, the trackers.
So,
Yeah.
What computer chip? Where? How?
Yeah, the little trackers, the vests. And they've got the little computer chip in the back of the vest.
Oh, right. That's
I mean, they were saying that when they take off their shirt, and you think it was that man wearing a bra.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it
they
is.
have
The tracker.
all footballers now, they all have their little monitors.
Yep.
And it monitors that how much they've run, how much they've done X, Y, and Z. Measures all sorts of things, how's the body coping, their blood pressure, their heart rate,
Yep.
all those things they're now existing in sport. One of the sort of safety innovations now in rugby is they've got a sensor in the mouth guard.
That sounds like a good thing.
If a man gets hit hard, that sensor goes off, he has to then go and have an HIA, which is a concussion test.
Right.
So in essence, that is a good thing. But what I use, as I said, in terms of technology, it opens a wide range of sorts of things. Has it for the athlete or the person themselves? What is it? What has it done for the athlete? We're talking. You look at, for example, the guy who broke the last marathon record. Or he broke it in London of all the places. There's his shoes. They said his shoes were so light, and so on and so forth. All these little things that are now sort of coming into sport. If you open it up in terms of, I said about the VAR and so on and so forth, for a lot of spectators, some people don't like VAR, but a lot of these things, in some ways, it keeps the viewing public or the audience in tune with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the days, you got one overtime kind of replay. Now you're getting all sorts of slow motion and angles and so on and so forth in some of these things. It's enhanced it in some ways for not only the players or the officials, but it's enhanced it for and with this AI thing, technology coming out now, who knows how far
can run my mind running forward, because if they're obviously with their bra, they can pick up so much information.
Yeah.
You can take that, you can mold that,
Yeah.
and create another
You create your profiles.
another profile,
Yeah,
which obviously will help with games
yeah.
that they have. So you can really have that person
Uh-huh.
being that individual in that game, and also I suppose you can win or lose with it from the point of view you haven't done enough, you haven't done this, your body's did it, so you're out and such in, or that can be part of your portfolio.
Yeah.
Because they want to know what your bra statistics. I'm not using that word from the point of view.
No, it's good.
So,
Because you can tell, you can take someone's speed, you can take someone's
Definitely,
average speed, you can take how much distance they cover, and then
yes,
say, hang on a minute, he was running really quickly 5 games ago,
right,
but now he's running a little bit slower.
what's happening?
What's happening?
That's
Has he
right.
got an injury?
Mhm.
Let's get him into the physio room. Let's have a look at him.
Mhm,
Let's send him for some checks,
right.
blood tests, saliva swabs, all these things. To when you see
It
that,
could save
yeah.
a life.
Save a life. Yeah.
Does it, are you saying, Mr. McIntosh, that it makes us too aware of the actual, what the body's doing, or what are
No,
your,
it's a good thing from my perspective to see what the actual is happening to the person, because in a lot of it, there's, so for example, you could, as a coach, you could put sensors on a triple jumper, for example.
Mhm.
Triple jump is one of these sports where your body takes, or your knees, your ankles, and so on, takes a pounding. So from the data you're getting back, you can analyze, is that angle where that person is jumping helping or hindering them,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
yes,
Mhm.
You look at things like cricket. A lot of cricketers, fast bowlers especially, they suffer from stress fractures of the back.
Yeah.
The great Ian Bishop,
mhm,
he had to change his bowling action
Yeah.
because he was getting stress fractures. Now you have cameras and computers and so on who that can decipher the angle that you're bowling and
Yeah.
where your arms coming, is that going to put extra pressure
All
on
these
your
things. Yeah.
your spine or whatever, and you can modify your bowling actions or whatever to suit. So
Yeah.
a lot of this, a lot of data is gained. There are athletes who go to some of these universities where they put on a mask whilst they are running,
Mhm.
and all aspects of their body is being monitored. Tailor your nutrition. Some people sweat a lot more during a race. Some people, the body acts in different ways. So by putting all these sensors on people,
Yeah.
you can tell that they can adapt and so on, and give you an advantage.
Yes.
I was
Absolutely.
watching your Formula One, and the amount of technological things that are happening, and they're monitoring the stress that is put on the drivers next when they take corners and so on.
yes, the
So all
talk.
this is useful information that they can use to help and make sure that that particular person is, is safe. So it's technology in sports is one that you could open up. We could talk a whole night
Yeah.
about
Definitely.
technology in sport, and then we'll end up coming and talking about the sort of main ones, which is VAR. It's dominated the whole football season. I know
Yeah.
it's been discussed before with Tournament and so on in regards to football, but VAR, if people think about it more this season, and I think they next season, because there was some contentious, even with all that technology, contentious decisions. People are saying Arsenal have won the title because of VAR.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a hard thing to say after your team has fought hard and so on and so forth. So, it's one of those things, as I said, you could break it down in the actual aspects, how it's affecting the sports, but it's also how are we now monitoring and seeing what happens to the human body when it's put through stresses.
Yes.
Very good. I'm going to take this moment that I'm seeing a lot of people who I never knew were Arsenal supporters, but for some reason they're taking out their shirt and they're wearing it. I just want to put a warning to all those others who think that they were Arsenal supporters, but are not too sure. So if you're brave enough to put your Arsenal shirt on, but you never worn it before, well, now's the time to do it. Just wanted to say that over and out.
Wear your shirt with pride.
Wear your shirt with pride.
Yeah, just to sort of move on because I know it's a hot day out there.
Isn't it?
I was looking at some of the, I had the opportunity to look at some of the texts I wrote on Gareth and my girlfriend.
Oh, I've missed some of the tennis. I must
She's
admit.
out already.
Oh,
Miss Ravikant, she get links already.
Emma. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I said from 0 to 0 because something's gone wrong here. When we talked about psychological profile.
Has she changed? Has she changed her trainer again, or her?
She's changed the trainer about 999 times. Again, I think they gave her too much exposure after her winning the name. We talked about this before.
The Brits do that.
She's out.
Yeah, the Brits do that.
The other British, Cameron Norrie, is also out because he had an injury. They bought out the British number 2 or number 1. I think she's still in it. But there's a new guy, which is surprising. A new young guy on the block. He beat one of the young French guy, a black guy, which is surprising. 17-year-old.
17.
17, yeah, he beat, he's in his home tennis match. He beat one of the favorites, Cherry Boy, his name. So he's one for the future. I think they said he's one of the youngest to progress so far.
At the French Open, let me have a look. I must admit, I was hoping to.
Stroke Arabic name, I can't remember. I just sat around, read that.
Thank you. All right.
So the tennis is going on. And I said, Alcaraz is not in it because he's got an injury. And then, I don't know what the temperature is. If the temperature is like that in France, that is in England, you're going to get one dropping down the wall.
Well, it is. You know, Paris have got a health warning, they've got a weather warning as well.
I would not be surprised if you get a lot more withdrawals because you're playing at that level and that it ain't easy.
Not at all.
It ain't easy. So, but I said it's nice to see that new young guy on the black on the block. And okay, for me, I've said this before, was also interesting the number of young black women and so on from different countries now
In tennis.
playing tennis. It feels like an upsurge from what it was before.
Right.
You know, we had the Williams, but now every time I look, I see one another black girl, another black guy. So it's interesting to see why
Representation.
this upsurge. Is it because of the Williams that they've done this, or access? You know, people are now allowing them to, take up a sport which was traditionally a white elitist.
I like what you said there in concerns to access. To me, because yes, the Williams have most definitely made an impact in the tennis world. And in fact, we'll be speaking to Brother Harold, hopefully, and he runs a tennis program here in London. And what you said, access, and then from the grassroots with any sport, just the opportunities to allow the new ingenuity. You've got to have that new spark. You can't have the oldies, greys. Well, it's got to have some kind of new energy, some way, shape, or form.
Again, if you think about
We know.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was going to sort of touch on, and people might think, well, Mr. McIntosh, an old man like you, but I have fallen in love.
Oh, right.
I've fallen in love with this 100-meter hurdler,
Oh, okay.
athletics. And I'm going to be her #1 fan from now.
I like that. Oh, I love this. I love this.
Masai Ross.
Massive.
Masai Ross
yeah.
ran the second fastest time for the 100 hurdles in the diamond.
Hurdles, I love it. On the diamond, okay.
yeah,
Diamond League, the Diamond League is started. She nearly broke the world record. She might break it soon. With the conditions.
So what team is she with? Who is
She's
she?
American.
Okay.
American. She's American, but I've fallen in love with her. And
That's it.
at least I'm hero worshiping myself.
And that. I don't get catch.
The other thing in terms of athletics, the Diamond League is back.
Yes.
17-stroke 18-year-old Japanese javelin thrower. She is throwing the second longest javelin throw in history.
Wow. Now that's something.
And I tell you, she's, I use the word in a polite way, she's well built for a 17-year-old.
I was going to ask the question: is she tall? Because Japanese are known for being quite petite. So she's maybe from Hiroshima, or when I say no, that's not wrong. That's wrong. From depending on region,
Yeah.
certain regions get
More
certain
likely, more
builds,
like that certain build, yeah.
certain builds from that point of view. Because they're not usually so built.
Is she all Japanese? Is she big?
She's a big freak.
Yeah.
And she was a world junior champion, etc. And she's broken certain records. But
Wow,
she was
Japanese.
her age, she wasn't allowed to compete in senior sort of events. But she's come out and, to be honest, I can't see. She was like 4 meters ahead of.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she's I would say she's a big old unit. So,
Just so they were years ahead of her from that point.
yeah, she's gonna be ruling that race for a
Fantastic.
long time. Nobody.
Okay, we'll get her name. Japanese
Japanese.
Japanese.
Japanese name. So remember again we're talking about age and so on.
So young.
So young.
I think that's
The
it.
RTL cricket is still going on, Shiva. He's a young 15-year-old Indian guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name offhand. And that man, in Australian cricket terms, that man is hitting some real ball.
Okay.
At the age of 50, and remember, he's playing against the world's best, because that's what the IPL is. It attracts the world's best players to come and play in this 2020 format. He scored a century
Mm-hmm.
last year as a 14-year-old. And this year he's right up there in terms of the batting averages. I saw him score, he was unlucky, he was on 97 the other day.
Oh wow.
That got himself out. But, he's quite a big unit for his age.
And he's playing for India.
Yes.
But the man could hit ball.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Really hit ball. So again,
I don't know if I would try to pronounce his name.
So if you're good enough, you're old enough, you understand?
Yeah, especially as he's on the team.
Certain sports.
Yeah. Especially as he's on the team, I should say, if he's good enough, he's old enough.
Surya Banshee.
Surya Banshee?
Surya Banshee.
Surya Banshee.
Yeah. I may not be pronouncing that correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's serious.
So that is in essence.
The
But
cricket.
one of the things I would say, just to sort of segue again,
Mm-hmm.
to provide the youngsters and so on, just if people are practicing sport, please,
Do something.
especially outdoors, whether it's leisure or whatever, make sure that you hydrate properly.
Yes.
Make sure, a lot of us black people, a lot of people, we're going out in that sun thinking, well, we are immune to melanoma, we're immune to heat stroke and so on.
Yeah.
It can affect everybody. I remember the black England player, cricketer, Chris Lewis.
Yeah.
Around me, he shaved his head bald.
Yeah.
And they went on a tour, I think it was to
1992 West Indies.
1992.
1992 West Indies. Yeah.
So it's important that for any listeners out there, when you're running or hitting your ball in the park, make sure, especially with the youngsters, you cover their heads and you make sure that they hydrate. If they're going out in the sun, make sure they put on their, some people don't believe in it, but put on your sunscreen and, we've got to watch this sun.
Yeah.
Even though color take is not going to affect us, but it can, so please. Even though my kids in the club, like now when we start that training next week, I tell them if you're athletes, make sure you bring your water or some sort of hydration drink. Don't just come train. It's important that that body replenishes because
Absolutely. It's really important. From Yeah, and from an education point of view, it's really important to understand when we sweat and we lose electrolytes, when we drink water, we're replacing the fluid, but we're not replacing the electrolyte. So the potassium and the body salts and the sodium and the zinc and all these
If you
things.
look now, Professor Johnson, some of
Yeah.
the football games that have been played,
Yeah,
they now have the water breaks.
yeah, having
Because
water
they
breaks.
see the importance of, people playing in that. In the World Cup, we're going to see whether in some of these states they're going to have water breaks for players.
Yeah,
Just because you're fit, that don't mean you are immune from the effects of the heat.
yeah,
So it's important that people get the opportunity to hydrate. That applies to the spectators as well.
Yeah.
If anybody can go to the World Cup, the prices, but that's a different story.
yeah. Well, the athletes are actually, paradoxically speaking, the athletes are actually more prone because your body system is running at a higher level. So you're more likely to run your potassium and your sodium levels down. You're more likely to run them down because you're exercising and physically exerting yourself more than what Joe Bloggs is doing. So therefore, when you sweat, you're not. It's not just.
Even going back in the old days in cricket, for example, you played cricket.
Yeah.
You're only there. There was, we talked about the old boys club.
Yes.
They were so strict about, you having some water or whatever.
Oh
You
yeah.
don't want to give your batsman some water and the umpire will chase you off the field.
Yeah.
None of that has changed now because people have received looked at medical advice and said, no, if a man has been out there in the sun, let them have some water, let them have a drink.
Yeah, of
So
course.
sports now recognize the importance of hydrating, the IPL,
Yeah, of course.
the shorter version, but they still have water drinks breaks. Test cricket now, they have several breaks where
Yeah.
they can come on between glove changes. You now see people coming on the pitch,
Yeah.
giving players water. If you're watching football, somebody's injured, but when they run on the ground to help the player who's injured, they bring on water,
Yeah.
so they go to the sideline and they're taking in their hydration.
Yeah.
Because your performance could suffer, as you quite rightly said, Professor. Your performance could suffer because your body's losing certain nutrients.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. It's important to make sure that.
I didn't do my research. Which African countries are qualified for this World Cup?
Okay.
DR Congo, Ghana, Cape Verde, Tunisia, Morocco, and Egypt, I believe.
Because I was.
Kudos
I
there.
said that deliberately because are we Americans going to allow the DR Congo footballers and spectators into the country?
This is something that
Watch this space.
is watch this space. I know that the very famous Lumumba, the real famous Congolese guy, he goes to every single game without fail.
Oh, is that their number one fan?
And the reason why I
number
say
one,
that
yeah.
the DRC is the epicenter of this Ebola.
Ooh,
Yeah.
So that is something, this World Cup football has already got all sorts of
Things happening. Yeah.
Manufactured.
Yeah.
Mr. Trump,
Yeah, of course.
I want to watch that space, and sooner or later he might say, no, we're not having these people coming to the country.
Due to circumstances.
Yeah.
It was a real problem, and
Of course.
would you, I'm not being funny here, would you want to go to a match where there's people from DRC?
Well,
Remember we took COVID, people have their views on COVID, and they took it lightly, but I would not be, Well, there's the first strain. There's vaccines for the first sort of strain. But remember, it's similar to COVID. These things started mutating. So this particular strain of the Ebola is saying, the WHO is saying they haven't.
Letting us know. We ain't got nothing for you. Move along, nothing to see here. It's where it is, it's how it is, even though, and this is where science and politics and sports cross from the point of view of, well, isn't that the region where Gates is? I mean, isn't there somebody next door that's got something? What's he been doing in there all this time? But however, let me not let that be the main point right now.
I think definitely teams will be, in terms of that, where, as you said, where sport, politics and science all merge.
Yes, definitely.
Myself, my colleagues, my counterparts will be told by, guys, make sure none of the players in the squad catch anything.
Of course.
Make sure they don't get anything.
Yes.
And we'll be given protocols to test and make sure that, all right, let's make sure we check the guys. Let's make sure we test them.
People go to certain
All of that.
places,
These are things that,
easy.
definitely.
Food
Yeah,
hungry,
we can say that she take it light, but this is a disease that, as you say, ain't got no particular cure.
That was being told.
And I'm just going on and saying a lot of it is spread by tradition. People who contracted the normal thing of traditional burial, they want to kiss their loved ones and this, that, and the other. And that is how this thing is spreading. So, yes, we can minimize it. You can say, well, you don't want to hear this, we want, but it is an important factor because they're qualifying for the World Cup.
We definitely have to consider that because it is and then we've got their fans and everybody else, and the cost and realistically to protect the people, because that's one of the
from the
things
side, from the medical, from the medical perspective, it doesn't have the same transient properties as COVID. So therefore, as a bloodborne, it's an airborne, bloodborne, skinborne. With Ebola is not airborne as a disease. Medically speaking, it's not airborne. So it can only be transmitted from direct contact, blood contact, as opposed to with COVID, where people can cough, sneeze, it can be nominated. It doesn't travel in that way.
It's fair, I suppose, in some respects, to Mongolia. We've got these huge events. I mean, this is just one of the many events. I wanted to quickly touch, obviously, we've got the darts, the Littler, and there's lots of cricket and everything. People are still travelling. We've got, the rugby, there's sports all over the place.
Yeah.
And from that point
so we've got the Commonwealth Games coming up soon. So
that's going to be in Glasgow, isn't it?
We've also got a Women's Cricket World Cup starting.
Yes.
A couple of weeks' time, the squads and so on are arriving. Yes,
We've got Wimbledon,
in terms of costs and with the war in Iran and so on and so forth. A lot of countries now saying in terms of airline travel, it's going to be more expensive. Airlines are cancelling flights and so on. So some of these sporting events may be affected. Let's wait and see.
Well, Australia didn't they? Mr. McIntosh.
Very surprised they started lowering some of the
Australia
prices.
did cancel.
They cancel. What's they cancel?
Australia, the Gold Coast did pull out of hosting the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. And Glasgow stepped in.
That's
and they
right.
cited financial, economic reasons that they couldn't facilitate the event.
Well, the Britain are good for stepping in. They've done it for the Eurovision Song Contest on many occasions when they didn't even win. Even though this time they got no part. But I didn't even, I mean. Oh, you mean the British song? Oh, please, that was ridiculous.
You said you that can't sing.
How that won the vote to go there. This is beyond.
Oh, right.
Anyway, so.
It
did sound like a bit. Yes.
Nice chatting to you, Mr. Professor. Next week we'll have some other topics to dig out. I know you covered football, but I'm still a little bit miffed by the omission omission of Harry Maguire from the England squad.
I heard about that and I was like, why? Is it imperative that he goes or do we need new blood?
I won't say it's imperative that he goes, but the man is there, he had his ups and downs. He was being more up this year than down. Not because I'm a Man United fan. He's a defender, and he also scores goals. He's dangerous at both ends.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
You've omitted him and put in Jaron Panzer.
Who's he?
He's an excellent football player. I think it's Germany. You're talking to he's the only team I say you want youth. So okay, then you want more youthful players. But why? I don't know what Professor Johnson's take, but you going with Jordan Henderson.
Well. I mean, personally, Jordan Henderson is not a player that I particularly rate.
He said he's not a player that particularly rates. I think this is one that we have to look at the team and we'll size up.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely take the time for that.
Yeah, to look at the squad.
To look
and
at
so
the
on.
squad.
We probably haven't got enough time. Probably
So,
soon.
I mean, everybody has their favourites as to who.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, I think he dropped a boo-boo.
Yeah.
With Henderson. But what Henderson going to do?
I think Jordan Henderson, to be honest, because England got to the semi-final in Russia, and because England got to the final and missed on the penalties,
Yes.
that has allowed Jordan Henderson to carry himself. And personally, I have felt that Jordan Henderson has been a passenger.
You think Jordan Henderson has been a passenger?
Yeah. I think he's been one of England's weak links. I don't think he's been effective at all.
Sometimes on the head of the say they've got the young, so they can carry them through, so it won't just be this World Cup and the next one, the next one.
He's had his chips, man.
Just do it. I want
Man's
now.
36.
You know,
he's
there's-
36.
Some of the guys he's omitted, yes, they haven't been on the best form, but I'm out in at the end of the day, that's what he's paid for. That's why he gets the big bucks, and that's his decision. So we'll look.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see if he's justified when Henderson scores a screamer from 40 yards.
Yeah. Prove me wrong. Definitely. And you get to the semi-finals.
What did you say, Professor?
Professor Johnson, I gotta go. We should talk again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very, very much.
All right.
Thank
I got a
you.
young lady here who I work with who's very interested in dancing.
Oh yes, we got talk.
Yeah.
We'll link you up with her. So
Thank you very much.
You still in that game?
Just a little bit. I haven't got a stick yet, but I'm there. Thank you very much. Oh, lovely. There we go. Right, I'm still here. Then he's gone. Can you be heard?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I just need to.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do this. I'm quickly gonna call Harold, and then we thought to bring the tempo down just a little bit. Wasn't that nice? They're speaking to Mr. McIntosh, obviously bantering there with Professor Johnson, talking about enhanced drugs. I mean,
Well, we did explain the STEM segment a little
we
bit.
did, which I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
nothing's ever wasted.
Yeah.
Tennis. I'm really looking forward to watching. Well, I suppose Wimbledon, but I did want to watch some of the Open. I did, and it's not too late, I suppose.
I would like to see this young man, still
Yes,
young man there.
he's a Frenchman. He says he's 17 years of age.
Yeah. I'm trying to track him down and see where I need with that.
Yeah, okay, right, so different. And then obviously he spoke about this Japanese lady, 17 to 18 years in the javelin. Now I like javelin. Only because I tried it for a short while.
You do know. I do need to remind you, the last French person
Right,
to win the French Open,
right.
Yannick Noah.
Yannick Noah. And Yannick Noah, what was he at that?
Yannick Noah with dreadlocks.
Oh yes, wow.
Yeah. And no Frenchman's won the French Open since.
Okay. Well, we're going to have a little bit more of this music here, and then we will be talking to Brother Harold, who is on the line as we speak. You there?
I'm there.
Okay. So yeah, I'm here. I can hear you. I can do, but what I'm going to do is just give me a moment. I'm going to bring you in. So we're talking about get a piece of paper that goes there. And, okay. It's the tennis, isn't it?
Yeah, tennis.
And we were just talking about tennis, and we were talking about the French guy, 17 years old. Have you watched any of the Open?
Bits and pieces, little bits and pieces, yeah.
Okay. Oh, so listen, I'm gonna come over to you. Tell me what date it starts again, please. The
Starts on the 30th of May, this week Saturday from 2:30 to 4:30.
Okay. 2:30 to 4:30. Ah. Okay. You're here with myself and another gentleman, Professor Johnson. And if we have any questions, we'll ask you as we go through. But we're going to give you about 7-8 minutes. Oh gosh, we're close to 9 o'clock. We'll give it 7-8 minutes. Okay, that's what we'll do. Okay, one moment, bring you right through on air. Okay, darling? Okay, thank you. You're here with Shida on the F1 and All Sports Talk Show. We have our Professor Johnson in the house. We've been speaking to Caroline. We've been talking with Tunde Talks Football, and of course, Mr. McIntosh with his agenda. The last part of the segment, if we remember, Professor, we were talking about tennis and this new prodigy, possibly, that's on the circuit now, 17 years old, and he's a Frenchman. However, we also have the opportunity to create and build our own prodigies. And we're talking to Brother Harold. Now, we've had Brother Harold on the show beforehand talking about the tennis that he does in services. So, Brother Harold, thank you. I know everybody heard me shouting to you beforehand before the volume down is. So it's all go, go, go. Tell us, it's on the 30th of May, what exactly is happening. And that's the Saturday, is that correct?
Yes, this week Saturday, yeah.
So what happens where, when, and how, and why?
So we know a lot of our young brothers need obviously that health and wellness, and we feel that through tennis they can get health and wellness. They can feel that better in themselves. They feel united amongst each other as young kings, should we say? It's just something obviously for the young people to get out and do something, that where the parents feel that they can be at ease and young people can just be more active rather than being on the social media.
I have a few questions. So my questions are, what are the age group that this supplies? What's the age group that this is for?
The age groups are going to be 12 to 15, so 12 years old. If anyone is 12 to 15 years old, this program is going to be eligible for you.
Okay. And how do they get involved?
So how they get involved is they can contact me on social media, HDW Sports.
Repeat that again, please.
They can contact me on Instagram, HDW Sports.
HDW Sports.
Or they can call me on this number here, which is 0737 630 1694. Or they can contact me on TikTok, HDW Sports.
HDW Sports on TikTok and on Insta.
Yeah, or my email address, hdwsports2022@hotmail.com.
hotmail.com. Now, I know you've been running this sports program for some time. It's quite a few years now. This is just your second year.
No, this is going to be my 4th year. 4 years.
4th year. Congratulations. Congratulations. Have you seen any of your, I suppose, participants? What have some of your participants gone on to do?
So a lot of my participants that through coming through my program, doing any collaborations I've done with people in our community, some young people have gone and started their own initiative, whether that be in the UK or even in the motherland or even in the Caribbean. So young people have gone off to start their own things and spread their wings, obviously, through coming through. With
sports, with tennis, or with just other things?
Some have done it through tennis, through football, community works, and just that other business. Some started at carpentry businesses, some have gone and started delivery businesses. So all different types of businesses, young people who have come through our programs have gone and obviously tested the waters and done their own thing.
So why are you doing tennis?
Because we have quite a
passion for tennis. So that's another reason why we're trying to push tennis a little bit more. Because there's a network of young people that want to see more of it. So that's the reason why we're trying to bring it out there.
So how many courts are they going to be able to, are in use, and where exactly is it? Or do we get that information?
That's going to be at Camberwell Butterfly Walk Tennis Court. Camberwell Butterfly Walk Tennis Court.
Butterfly. Did you say Butterfly Walk?
Yeah, Camberwell.
Camberwell Butterfly Walk Tennis Courts.
Yeah.
Alright. So if they come along there at what time?
2:30 to 4:30.
To 4:30.
Yeah, 2 hours.
And in consensus to being a whole day program, are there opportunities that you will do for a whole day program? Because that's like a taster. Are there opportunities that there may be a whole day program or otherwise other extensions to that?
I mean, for now, obviously, we're just doing a few tasters, but moving forward, that we are going to be working towards doing a whole day program, of course.
And with the last one that you did for the last taster earlier in the year or otherwise last year, what has been the result? Obviously, you were able to do it again. Has it been a case of you have had some children come back, or where are you getting most of your clients from, your children from?
We're getting them through like referrals from parents, community centres, youth centres, word of mouth. That's where all the young people are coming from.
And what do you supply?
We supply them with high level levels of tennis coaching. We provide equipment. We provide refreshments. Yes, we provide all the services for the young people and the parents, obviously, to participate.
So you see a child, you think they've got the gift. This child could really go and be something. It might not make it for this year's Wimbledon, but obviously to get on the circuit. How would you enable them to do that, or what options do you have for them to actually take the next step, or their parents?
So we have the one-to-one tennis training through the people that we collaborate with, so the organisation we're collaborating with, which is called Black Tennis Mentors, have the one-to-one training for the young people to go through.
Black Tennis Mentors.
Yeah, so that's the organisation we're collaborating with on this project at the moment.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah,
Wow.
So they have all the training for young people from one-to-one tennis. If you want to become a tennis coach, they've got the tennis coaching program from level 1, 2 and 3. So anyone from the age of like 18 to, I think it's 50, anyone from 18 to 50 that wants to do LTA, I think it's called the LTA level 1, 2 and 3 tennis qualification. Black Tennis Mentors completely on that. So anyone that wants to become a tennis coach, you can contact Black Tennis Mentors and they can get you onto that.
Thank you very much. There's a lot of information that you've given us there, Brother Howard, in concerns the tennis is going to be there. That's this Saturday, or the Saturday, the 30th of May, and it's going to be from 2:30 to 4:30 at the Camberwell Butterfly Walk Tennis Court. To get in contact with you, get in contact with you via HDW Sports on TikTok or otherwise on Instagram, HDW Sports 22 at hotmail.com, or they can call you on 0737 630 1694. I want to thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you and hearing the results, if anything. So give us a call, let's talk again and find out exactly how many people came through, and remember, you can get just turn up people, make sure you've got a decent pair of shorts on, a decent top, and I say that in other words, don't wear no short, just wear something that's just going to be decent.
Yeah.
And I know it's hot, but still, you'll get refreshments, equipment, and your rackets. And just turn up with a heart just to get involved. Just turn up with a heart to get involved, and nothing else to go. And let them know that you heard it here on the F1 and All Sports Radio Talk Show here with Sheeta and Professor Johnson.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, brother.
No worries at all, man.
Safe journey. Not at all.
Much appreciated.
Thank
Alright.
you.
No
Thank
worries
you.
at all.
Oh, wow.
All right.
what a thing to be doing. I mean, when you think of the opportunity and to bring a sport to people which or otherwise they wouldn't have had the opportunity to get to.
Yeah, because you do find a lot of these initiatives in summer coaching camps, they are heavily football biased. So I like to hear somebody bring something different to the table, you know. And tennis is one of those sports that
Definitely.
there's no reason why more of us shouldn't be playing.
Well, I played it at school and I thought, I'm not running all the way over there to go get the ball. I'm standing right here. Why should I go all the way over there to go and get the ball? I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't really done me good, but I don't know. I'm over here. I don't want to go over there to go. It's about that time we're kind of rounding up. We might do just a few minutes more just to kind of round up. Please say you, Professor.
Little round up.
Little round up. That was great information. I'm really pleased that we spoke to Brother Howell there. And if you're interested, please get in contact with Brother Howell, HDW Sports. You can email Brother Howell, hdwsports22@hotmail.com. Call Brother Harold 0737630169 for TikTok or Instagram. And that's it. If you have all that information, it's just a bit too much. Camberwell Butterfly Walk Tennis Court. Just go, just have it, just experience it, and why not? But a lovely time. I've got a quick question for you there, Professor Johnson.
Go for it.
Now, admittedly, we haven't mentioned this, whether I've talked this at length, but the reality, which was brought to our attention, obviously, by Mr. McIntosh,
Yeah.
of the entry and exit of players into the states of the Americas for an international game, when you've got international circuits. But there are many international games that are, I mean, tennis is one that's international.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I suppose it depends.
Yeah. Well, Iran,
Mm-hmm.
to qualify and extend the point that you're making,
Mm-hmm.
Iran has qualified for the World Cup
They
legitimately.
have.
And Donald Trump is seeking ways and means
So,
to say that they can't. He tried to create an opportunity for Italy to go through. The Italians football fraternity have said no.
Mhm.
If we weren't good enough to qualify legitimately, we don't want to go.
we don't want a little bit of.
No, we don't want it. We don't want
A
handouts.
little
Or,
bit, yeah, and they Italians very proud.
Italians
And
are very
rightly so,
proud.
especially
Yeah.
so, and they're good when they're good.
Yeah.
They're good, so why not?
So there's a lot of situations like that. We don't know if
Mhm.
the Iranian government may actually enforce a boycott and take it out of Trump's hands. Again, Iranians are very proud people as well.
Yes. I
So
thought
that
they
potentially
might not.
happen.
I thought they might not have actually gone to the World Cup in some respects.
Yeah, we still don't know if that's the case, even though we've not had an official announcement.
Mhm.
There's no official guarantee that Iran will turn up.
Yeah, very true.
And to make, you need to have the same amount of teams
Mm.
to allow for all of the qualifications and everything to work out. So FIFA
Mhm.
will
Mhm.
potentially look at if it does happen.
Mhm.
And there's nothing to say that Iran comes and says, you know what, we ain't coming.
Mm.
Last minute, not
Yes.
come.
What? Yeah.
It can happen. And who will they potentially, Jamaica played DR Congo in the playoff
And we get-
and didn't get through. There's,
That's supposed to
Trinidad.
go to the back.
they
to
go
see-
back, there's Trinidad and Tobago, who were the lowest ranked team.
Right.
There's, in the playoffs, in Europe, there's
Mhm.
Wales,
Mhm.
there's Republic of Ireland. So there's quite a few teams who, between Wales, Republic of Ireland,
Mhm.
Italy is not taking no favours. Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica,
Right.
those are probably the four countries who made it through to their respective playoffs regionally.
And it could be a maybe.
it could be a maybe. One of those could be giving you the opportunity to.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. With that said, I'm going to play a little bit of this, and this is what I was going to play, little pieces of it,
Yeah.
and it's really He's Back. Hamilton's Canadian masterclass sparks hopeful turn yet. I mean, I know you didn't see it. Did you hear him, Hamilton's take over?
No, I didn't.
What
What I will do is
Mhm.
because like the Monaco
Mhm.
Grand Prix, the street race,
Yes.
is something of a thing for me.
Spectacle.
Now, for those who don't know,
Mhm.
Ayrton Senna, throughout his career when he was racing in Formula One,
Yes.
he only failed to finish on the podium once throughout the whole of his career at Monaco. Even when he wasn't champion.
So,
Yeah, again, Michael Schumacher was dominant at Monaco. The street race is really the pinnacle of the racing calendar,
it
and the
is.
best drivers
Mhm.
tend to show their skill.
Well, it's all about, I will say, it's also all about qualifying.
Yeah,
Because it's a bit of a processional race.
Yeah.
There was qualifying, you're on pole. If you
Yeah.
play your cards right, you'll be on pole and
Yeah.
you'll win the race.
Yeah.
However, circumstances happen,
Yeah.
crashes occur,
yeah.
and even though they may have been one stop, now they've got to have two stops now. That's a new rule. So for Monaco, you have two stops, which in some respect, it's all about telemetry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, how you decide to put your stop in and who your engineer and all those kind of things, and just the
Yeah.
measurements of what that's going to make. And with it being, let's say, that elitist sport, which it still is, Monaco obviously was, if people want to be in a certain place where they want to make sure that other people don't come, they just stay there. And Monaco,
Yeah.
am I wrong in saying that? Maybe not, maybe yes, I don't know. I mean, I don't see it that way, but yes, it is.
What I need to do is I need to watch the Italian job.
Oh, well, I
I'll
told
watch
you.
the Monaco race.
I told you.
That's what I need to do.
That's such a great
Yeah.
it's such
You're not supposed to you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
The line is, I told you to blow. Yeah, you're quite right there, actually.
I told you, right?
You're
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
so
Rosa,
wrong, so
Rosa,
right.
Coco, these guys will get you out and shooting faster than anyone. Yeah.
You've definitely watched the movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is one of the classics, of course.
Classic.
Well,
So,
maybe that's what we should be doing.
yeah.
I think for Monaco.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those that's definitely. And when he said, "Don't move," I've got an idea.
yeah. Now lads, if we just counterbalance, yeah.
We can get out of
We
it.
can get out of it, you know. So get around them tight pins and hairpins, and it just just reminds you of riding in Monaco. So the Monaco Grand Prix, I am going to watch it. I'm gonna
We'll watch it together.
watch it together. Put time aside for the qualifying,
Yeah.
get some information, really follow it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of this up. This is a little bit inconsistent. Hampton being back. There we go.
Koppenberg.
That's still going. Should we wrap it up with that? Because it's
Yeah.
going to be 10 past.
Yeah.
So I just let it fizzle. When this comes, I'll just put something up.
Go get that camera. Go get that phone.
Thank you very much for listening in to the F1 and All Sports Radio Talk Show. We'll be here with you next week. Is that correct, Professor Johnson?
We shall indeed.
We'll be here with you next week. We'll be so much more, and I think we'll be doing our step. We'll be doing our movie.
We'll be doing our movie.
Yeah. Take care. Thank you. Stay well. Stay hydrated, and don't forget to look out for everything and more on. It's not just football.
Not just football 7-1. Not just football 7142.
Not just football 7142. Yay! Yeah. Calvinist. Okay, what is